And we're live. What's up, guys? Welcome to the Fres&Fit podcast, man. It is Monday. We got a special guest in the house, guys. We got a three-peat for you guys.
To be fair, if I listen to atheists at the park, I start to really like Mohammed Hijab. Just to be fair, guys. And, you know, like, he's intelligent. But then when he starts talking about Christianity, I start to, like, really dislike him. I don't want to say hate, but like, it really gets on my nerves. Because there's this, like, seething hatred Mohammed Hijab has for Christians that is a little too obvious. And I only ever give someone the benefit of the doubt of being like that angry when I think of, yeah, Christians are probably sending mean messages to Mohammed Hijab. You know, like if you start talking about religion or politics, you get weird messages from the opposition. And then, you know, years pass, and no, he just hates Christianity. Like the guy actually fucking hates it.
By the way, we got Mohammed Hijab now, and then we got TK Kirkland coming in a little bit later, and then obviously we're going to do an after-hour show for you guys.
With him.
Yes, it's going to be lit. Quick announcement, two main things, guys, really. Rumble.com/Fres&Fit, that's the home base for us, Council Club.
You support these guys. Guys, I'll tell you this, man. These two are the best. Like, they're... I wish all you guys could become YouTubers for like 1 week to see how everyone will ignore you guys, except these guys will platform you. Like, they're fucking gold.
TV.
Don't miss out.
So I don't mean to skip
you guys
that.
out there. You guys are requesting us to do a collab with them for...
Every time I see these guys, I want to give them a hug, bro. Sneako's more like, yo, let's go on an adventure. But when I see these two, I want to give them a hug. Like, I love these guys, man. Like, no,
a very long time.
No homo, no homo.
I'm glad that he made time for us today. Welcome to the podcast, Mohammed Hijab, man.
Thank you very much for having me, my friend. How are you doing? You all right?
How are you, man? I'm good.
Welcome.
Good. Welcome.
Yeah, good.
I'm glad we're able to
right.
to make this happen, man.
We're gonna.
So
speed
for the
it up
audience
a
that
bit.
might not, I mean, obviously I'm very well aware of who you are. You know, shout out to Sneeko for linking us, by the way, and you know, creating that contact. But can you, you have a huge YouTube channel yourself, huge following, probably one of the most famous Islamic scholars in the world. But for those that don't know, can you please introduce yourself to the people?
Well, I mean, look, as you mentioned, content creator, I would probably call myself in the most neutral way. I've been online for about 8 years now, producing all kinds of content relating to, I would say, for example, like Islam, religion, politics, society, philosophy. Obviously, I've had like lots of debates, which are high-profile debates. Recently, I had one with Piers Morgan, which went viral, which went mega viral, right? So that's really the reason why I've become quite notorious in the end, brother.
Nice. And I did actually see that debate, the one with Rabbi Shmuley, right?
There was two. The initial one I had with Piers Morgan accumulated, I think, probably about 8.5 million views.
Yeah.
And then the one with Shmuley about, I don't know, like 5 million or something. But
yeah.
it was a heated debate, and Piers Morgan referred to it as the most combative debate in TV history. A lot of people, when they watch that debate, consider it to be a very controversial debate. So, yeah, I mean, there's been a lot of high-profile moments and interesting times. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So, can you take us through your evolution of how you got here? Obviously, you're very respected in the space and in the religious world. How did you get to this point? What's your background like?
Well, I've been going to university for a very long time.
University of Speaker's Corner. Hold on. Where does the debate start, guys? Let's try here.
The power of a representative, for example, parliamentarian or member of Congress, without being voted in.
Okay.
So this is an issue here, because you have people that have power, the power of politicians that have not been voted in.
Sorry.
So this is a threat to democracy in many ways.
Good.
Since be some kind of a check from the people, Mark Zuckerberg. Or
That's a fantastic
not
point. That actually have the reach.
You know what's funny about Hijab is he'll say things like this is a threat to democracy, but deep down he doesn't believe in. He only believes in a democracy so he can get Islam in the West. Like, it is like, it's so shady. It's, at least I say it up front. I don't believe in democracy. I'll say it up front like this. Like, I don't care. But it is shady how he wants to, like, implement classical liberal thinking up until the point where he has power, and then things become very Fuentes for the sad nigga side, right? No disrespect with that, right? But that's how it is.
And the ability to utilize this free speech that we talk about. But what do? I mean, you know, thank God for Elon Musk, right? He brought a bunch of people back.
See, he doesn't want free speech either. But he does right now. He does. Trust me, he does right now.
He made X. Obviously, X still has its terms and conditions and everything else like that, but it's way more open than other platforms.
Yeah, he does hate the West.
But you're right, man. Like, Zuckerberg
And
over at Facebook, Adam
So,
Mosseri.
some people call me phony because they're like, Zherka, you hate the West the way you talk about it. Yeah, but I'm a reformist. I want to reform the West. I don't want to eradicate it with Islam. Right? So I'm very different from these guys. You know? If anything, I'm on the soldier side of the West, where he's on the conquering side of the West. He wants to conquer it.
Over at Instagram, all these guys, like, they have more power than politicians do because they're able to regulate speech on their platforms, which in turn obviously is the vehicle from which you're going to use to get your message out there. And if they don't like what you got to say, then, you know, unfortunately you get canceled.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it is their platform, so understandable. But when it comes to free speech, you're right. There really isn't any free speech because
There's not.
governments don't control everything. They control a small portion, but these companies do control a lot.
Yeah.
So yeah,
So
that's a good point.
that's what it is, you know. So,
I had a question, if you don't mind.
You know when Mohammed Hijab got cocky was when Peterson showed he's soft in front of him. Whereas Peterson could run circles around him intellectually. Like, Peterson's no joke. And people think like, oh, Zherka, you critique Jordan Peterson. Yeah, because of the shilling. Not, like, if Peterson was if he was a part of us, he would be, like, if Peterson went full JQ mode, I wouldn't switch from Nick to him, but I would say, Nick, he's got your IQ beat. But Peterson's IQ is so high that he doesn't want to be canceled. That's why he plays the Jewish game, right? He wants to be remembered in history. He doesn't want to be written as a fraud in history. He knows what to do for his legacy. Whereas Nick doesn't give a fuck. Where I would say Nick will be remembered as like the honest guy, and Peterson not so much. But yeah, as soon as Peterson was soft with Mohammed Hijab, it was like, what the fuck? We look dumb as fuck.
Hijab. What do you
When
think
was that,
about
2 years ago?
Christianity and atheism separately.
So we'll take one at a time.
Sure.
Obviously, like with Christianity, as Muslims, we believe in Christ. We believe that Christ is the Messiah. We believe that he's a prophet. We believe.
Hijab Isafog donated $5. Bro Sneeko is being brainwashed by these Muslims he's hanging out with. It's sad to see. They want Sneeko to dislike everyone that is not a Muslim masturbator. Talking about Alhamdulillah all day.
I don't worry about Sneeko. To be honest, the way I see it is, and call me crazy, I've predicted a lot of things. The way I've seen it is, Sneeko dug himself into his own hole, bro. Like, think about it like this. Andrew Tate is so intelligent that he joins Islam while still fucking bitches. Sneeko is doing it the genuine way. No bitches. You see the dilemma here?
Camels donated $5. In Islam, your mother, sisters, daughters and granddaughters will be penetrated for eternity.
Basically, Sneeko has to, like, either radicalize or he'll snap back into smashing bitches. What's more likely to happen?
Sasuke Shanks donated $5. Do you think Sneaky will return to Christ, or is this just the last grift?
I don't think it's a grift for Sneeko, really. Grift is like Adam Sela, who they said hooks up with trans or whatever. I don't know if that's true, but like that low-key partying shit. Whereas Sneeko's actually playing it for real. But I'm saying it's like an elastic band. Eventually, no matter what Sneeko does, his community will say, that's not Muslim enough, and that's not, and it's going to snap. So I don't know if Sneeko will come to Christianity, but I do know Westerners do not, the only way Westerners adopt Islamic ideology is like Andrew Tate. They don't, that's the only way they can do it. Yeah.
That he was sent by God, that we believe that he was given wonders and miracles and signs, as it's mentioned in the book of Acts in the Bible. In the book, he was a man amongst men that was sent with wonders and miracles and signs that God did through him. That's a biblical verse. Right. And that biblical verse there in the book of Acts is everything we agree with. That God did those things through him. So we believe that, Christ cured the leper, that he cured the blind, with God's permission. But here's the difference between Islam and Christianity. So whereas we would say as Muslims that Christ was, yes, he was the Messiah, he was one of the greatest people who ever graced this earth. We consider anybody who rejects Christ not to be a Muslim. So this is something which excommunicates you from the religion of Islam.
Okay.
If someone attacks Christ, we would consider them to be a disbeliever of Islam. You cannot be a Muslim and reject or attack or besmirch Jesus Christ. It's impossible. And likewise, you cannot be a Muslim and attack or abuse or besmirch Mary, son of Mary.
Which is funny. He's about to attack Christ. He's going to say Christians are weak and blah, 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 blah.
Which is the mother of Christ. Those two figures are mentioned in the Quran. In fact, Allah mentions that Mary is the best woman on the earth. وَاصْطَفَاكِ عَلَى نِسَاءِ الْعَالَمِينَ. That He has chosen you above all women on the earth, even more so than any of the Prophet's wives or any of the Prophet's daughters or anybody else. So Mary for us is the most important woman to have ever lived. There's a whole chapter in the Quran, chapter 19, which...
Okay.
Nigga donated $5.
Bruh.
I tried to get back with my ex and she rejected me. How do I recover?
You don't. You need abundance.
Hijab Isafog donated $5. Bro, it's so bad it's got to the point that half of his audience want him to live in Sheikh Oman's basement reading books all day. Bro, it's so fucking hilarious how stupid they are.
Yeah.
Merch donated $5. Sneeko is planning to interview the Taliban.
I wish Sneeko the best, man. Yeah. Because let me tell you this. I have an ISIS flag in that closet. It started off as a joke, but then I realized I'm more for the right wing than anyone. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not even on their side. I just like how right wing they are. Like, they'll fight everyone. That's the most Hitlerian shit. Bro, I gotta say one thing about Hitler, man. Like, this nigga went to war with Earth, and it was fucking close. It was a fucking... They were going at it, bro. He was like this close. Like, what the fuck, bro? He even locked up all the astrologists and killed them, read his charts and said, fuck, I'm about to be overthrown, and went to Argentina. Like, the guy is no slouch.
is the chapter of Mary, which recounts some of the stories there relating to
We
Mary.
love Mary.
So we don't believe Jesus is God or the Son of God. That's the main difference. We do not believe that Jesus can be God. We do not believe that it's conceivable, it's intelligible, or that it's possible that anybody with a date of birth is God. Let me say that again. We do not believe that it's possible, that it's conceivable.
You know why I find this, like, traumatizing is I read 1,000 pages of pretty much everything. And I'm not even flexing. From Pythagoras to Pike to Plato they all talk about God being a triune deity. Like, the Trinity is even before Christianity, my dude. Like, it's everywhere. Those are the same guys who will talk about the 7 spirits of God or wandering planets and stuff. But I'm like, how the fuck did everyone agree that God's a Trinity except Muslims? Because if my thinking's correct, that means Muslims are the lowest on the IQ scale throughout the scope of history. Like, even the Indians said it's a Trinity.
Hijab Fuckscoats donated $5. This stone liquor and Ali Dawah ran from Shamoon. His excuse was Shamoon doesn't have enough subscribers even though he has over 200k on YouTube. You'll see later in this debate.
He's lying. He's lying 100%. He doesn't debate Shamoon, but will debate a homeless man at Speaker's Corner after he debated Peterson. Bro, we know why he doesn't debate Shamoon, right? And Shamoon doesn't like Zherka. Did he say he doesn't like me? I knew he wouldn't like me. He's very anti-political, right? He's just about religion. But that guy would cook Hijab in a debate. There's something weird about there's something weird about anyone who's at the top of Christianity is not allowed to debate. Like, to be honest, I think Nick would cook Mohammed Hijab. And Nick doesn't really do stuff like that. Not anymore.
Or intelligible that anybody with a date of birth is God, because God is the eternal. Jesus is not the eternal. At least,
Yeah, Jesus is the Word. Dude, the Son of God, the Word, the nous. This has been like a concept since before Christianity. Like, it would be retarded to try and rationalize the infinite, man. Or they'd call it the Ein Sof.
the physical manifestation of him. He was born of a certain time. He had a mother. You know, in the Quran
The
it
logos.
says, "Kana yakulani
Yeah.
ta'am," that him and his mother used to eat food, which indicates limitation. Because if you're eating food, how can you be God? So the point is that we believe
Meth Crusader
that Jesus
donated
never even claimed
$10.
to be God.
Christ is King.
There is no good evidence that Jesus claimed to be God. There's scanty evidence in the Bible, and the Bible itself is an unpreserved text we consider to be.
What do you mean Jesus never claimed to be God? Let's just open our Bible to random pages, okay? Just random pages. All right, go ahead, chat. You first. I'll just walk around here. I am the resurrection and the life. Those who believe in me, even though they die, will live. Okay, can a man do that? And remember that in Islam, they think Jesus comes back to judge you for your sins. And then you go to Allah. Like, what the... Why? I give them eternal life. The Father and I are one.
Jordani donated $5. Moral disorders produce physical ugliness, and in some sort realize those frightful faces which tradition assigns to the demons. Look at this fat round feminine-faced brown Muslim homosexual. He just finished fucking his whore go to.
Look at this one. You have seen him, and the one speaking with you is he. He said, Lord, I believe, and
Love
he
Grish
worshiped,
donated
and
$5.
Jesus said,
I used to
came into
love
the world
watching Sneeko
for
before I
judgment.
found King Zherka. Thanks for inspiring me to go on my first D-bowl cycle, bro. Christ is
fuck?
King.
Enjoy the guy now. But I lay it down for my own accord. Look at this. Look at this.
Yoni Goy Zherka donated $5. Before Abraham was, I am.
There you go. Look at this. He says, how can God die? For this reason, the Father loves me, because I lay down my life in order to take it up again. No one takes it from me, but I lay it down of my own accord. I have the power to lay it down, and I have the power to take it up again. Does that sound like a man, dude? I am the gate for the sheep. What does that mean? Right? Like, guys, this is from Abrahamic faiths, this is the most supercharged character. Like, this is a no-brainer. Look at this one. Okay. The reason you do not hear them is that you are not from God. You people are not from God. But they're going to say that's a prophet. I don't know. What prophet judges people's souls? Like, are you fucking retarded?
So it's a corrupted text. So our views on Christianity is as follows. We agree that...
Rafiki donated $5. Zherka, what is the correct time to spend with your girl to not lose your momentum in work and get soft? Or should I just not get a girl to lock in more on life and make bank? Also, can you leak your Photoshop image of manifestation?
No, I'm not leaking that. People pay good money for that. How much time you should spend with a girl? It depends on the girl, but really, it should be as little as possible to the point where you're not too cold, where she's like
Blue-Eyed
distant.
Crusader donated
It's
$5.
different for everyone.
Any real tips and advice to help to quit weed? I'm in college and really have
What?
nothing else to do. My conscience wants and knows I have to stop. Because I know it will help me become smarter and improve my overall stats. I'm also a
I've never... Who the fuck has trouble quitting weed? You just stop spending extra money on it. That's not one you can... That's not one that you have to quit. Like, you're thinking of drugs, you have to quit. Weed's a fucking waste of time.
Christ follower donated $5. What was your first heartbreak like? And how did you recover?
My first heartbreak was... I think took months and I'd say a year, but really I was active. I was active within a few months. And I pretty much became a bouncer.
Donated $5. What are your opinions on fasting?
Yeah, fasting is great. I love fasting. I fast, yeah. But fasting will make you glow. It'll make you beautiful, right? Don't fast like Mohammed Hijab, though. Fast like a white man. But yeah, my first heartbreak was I just got into like drinking, fighting people at bars, and a lot of like hoe shit. And it's pretty dark. You know, it took many years to unravel that. I loved it, but now when I look back, it was like I could have done this kind of internet shit way sooner if I wasn't so distracted. Waste of time, but you know, it made me who I am.
Christ and Mary are great figures, but we think that history has distorted the image of Christ.
How did history distort the image of Christ if your religion is a DLC from Christianity that came like 500 years later? Your religion, we birthed you. You're our chicken egg, bro. You're literally our chicken egg. You're our chicken egg. Like, there's no way the chicken is... That's crazy, bro.
And Mary, and this idea of the Trinity was a historical development. That what happened was, in the Roman Empire, when Constantine adopted Christianity, because what happened in the beginning was, Christianity was Christians were a persecuted minority.
Yeah.
Then what happened was,
go worship a cube.
Year 313, there was the Edict of Milan, and Constantine, who was the then emperor of the Roman Empire, he embraced Christianity. He had a dream and so on, and then he embraced Christianity, and then he spread Christianity throughout the Roman Empire. That's how Christianity spread. When Christianity spread, the Roman Empire already had mythologies that were adopted from ancient Greek mythologies.
Yeah, Christianity has had their foot on Islam's neck for thousands of years.
Christie's God donated $5. It is so obvious Jesus is God. He who has ears, let him hear. He was born of the Virgin Mary, the true Son of God, God walking amongst his creation.
Let's go, pal. I'm making a withdrawal here.
Allah Safag donated $5. Allah and the Quran couldn't build a thriving society, so these subanimal IQ Muslims follow white Christians like dogs begging to be let into our nations. This fat fuck brown guy no faggot would be sucking a goat's cock right now if he...
Why? Where's he from?
Noxter donated $5. When are Catholic Christians supposed to fast? I'm new to being Catholic.
Let's just watch the video, bro.
Like Mithraism, for example.
Yeah.
You can check out Mithraism online. And most of these mythologies consisted of a godhead of some sorts. Father, son, this kind of relationship. Mm-hmm. And so it's easy to see that in the Roman Empire, how Christianity evolved due to...
Adolf donated $5. Didn't their prophet Muhammad get chalked by an angel because he couldn't read or something? He is nothing compared to Jesus.
Well, that's their historical claim to fame, that he couldn't read. So how did he figure out such a great system like Islam? You know what I find weird is like they're like, God cannot be a tree or a man, but God can be a burning bush. From literally they believe in the burning bush, and then they say, well, we believe in the whole thing except the burning part. Like they just fucking change everything, bro. It's like they're so snaky with this shit, bro.
Of these ideas.
Or like, remember, these people believe that the Quran is uncreated. So you just ask them, was the Quran before your God or after or same time, or is it God?
Stuffed Thug donated $5. Hey, would you be able to react to my new song? I will give you the title to my car if you don't like it.
Shut the fuck up.
To one God, that's what he was. He didn't believe Muhammad. We don't say that he did. He was the prophet of the time.
Right.
So Abraham didn't believe in the Trinity.
What do you say? Because you guys are lagging my shit.
But if you're unless you're hearing the ban reason from Eddie himself or the moderation team themselves, you cannot believe your friends. You cannot believe them. They're going to give you some half-ass story. Listen, there's three truths, okay? There's the actual truth. There is...
Yeah, it's about banning. It's not about me.
We don't believe there's any evidence. There's scanty to no or zero evidence. So this is the point. Islam separates itself from Christianity in so much it says that we don't believe that Jesus was God. It cannot be possible or fathomable, plausible, intelligible, conceivable.
Jesus is King donated $5. Can you delve into the pagan Kaaba Baal worship? Also, nobody ever talks about how Muhammad the amazing prophet was a warlord. Dude went into a cave and said God spoke to him. That's his credibility?
Talk about Kabbalah? Yeah, alright.
LZ828 donated $8.88. 8 Life Path born on September 14, 2001. So snake in a snake year, does that mean effects are greater or does that mean they cancel out?
It's not a snake year, it's a dragon year. You have a 5. This is good, and the 8 is good, but we're not doing this right now, dude. You have good shit, though. Hold on. You have really good shit. Kabbalah is just Keter, Chokmah, Bina, and the 10 Sephiroth, or spheres, or spirits, or persons of God, explained in the Zohar and the Talmud. And many Hermetic traditions broke down God like this.
Let's go, pal.
Alright, I lost the train of thought, bro. Fix my time.
Holocaust never happened donated $5. I'm kinda new to religion, but I find it weird that the Quran was created hundreds of years later. Who are Muslims to come and say that the Quran is the truth? And they brag about Muslims memorizing it when it's a short book.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because when we talk about religion, everyone tries to whip out their measuring stick about how old their people's religion is, and like, yeah, usually that's like how people flex, and then Muslims are just proud that they're the newest baby religion, like them, and then Mormonism.
That a man who is limited is God who is unlimited. A man with a beginning is God which does not have a beginning, and so on. That's the main difference.
425 donated $5. Zherka, how do we correctly utilize the upcoming solar eclipse? LP11 secondary 9 Scorpio.
Yeah, that's it, bro. I just did like 20 calls today, $350 each for those kind of topics, one-on-one. Those topics are like
Let's go, pal.
not for a little Zoomers.
Saturn Cube donated $5.30. Talk about the left-hand halo path of the Kaaba. Also Prophet Idris's Hermes.
Let's go.
Let's let Mohammed Hijab talk before I start.
Khalil donated $5. Takbir. Allahu Akbar. God is great. Muslims and Christians will come together against red heifers.
Red heifers.
So, just to respond, I get what you're saying, and I've family as a Christian, Muslim as well, so I do understand both sides of the religion on some level. But let me ask you this. So, in that regard, if Jesus isn't God as you say,
Zherka's mom donated $5. Stop doing cocaine and come home, we miss you.
My mom's actually said that to me before. She's like, are you doing what those comment sections said you're doing? It's like, no, Mom. What? She's like, I know my baby wouldn't. I'm just asking because you've been drinking, hanging out with Mike again. And she's like, I love Mike, but not for you. This is not good for you. I was like, Mom, I'm the one doing it, not Mike.
do you follow the Bible as well?
All right, come on, bro, focus.
Z donated
I'm turning this
$5.
shit off.
I know you hate Nietzsche, but he was right about there not being many real Christians out there. Saying Christ is king is a pretty shallow way of belief, considering your belief is only made up of acknowledging he existed. True belief is embodiment and action.
Yeah, I believe the embodiment and action, but faith first. But I know what you're saying. You know, like, I used to ask Dick and a bunch of people, I'm like, what makes someone a Christian? It can't just be faith. Like, how can we be more pragmatic about it? And, like, from a tribal perspective, right? Is my chat working? Did I break that? Huh. Yeah, what happened to my chat? Yeah, and we were talking about it. And, yeah, most saints throughout history came to the conclusion that you're not a Christian if you don't convert people. Like, many saints believed in this shit. That means, like, if you're not the influencer Christian, you're just the chatter, yeah, you're not a Christian. I believe that. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, if you're not fucking helping us, you're not a Christian. I'd rather take sinners on the team than you.
Word of God or no?
You see, that's a great question, because here's what we believe. And it's not just we, the Muslims, believe it. Yes, we, the Muslims, believe it, but this is now consensus in Christian scholarship. The idea that the Bible itself now has become corrupted, which means that there have been things that have been put into it and things have been taken out of it, which is why you have contradictory versions of the Bible. We have the New International Version, the King James Version, the Revised Standard Version. All of them have contradictory information. They're not all the same because they depend on different manuscripts. And you can refer to the works of Bruce Mesker, who wrote a book on the corruption of the Bible. He was a Christian himself. So it's not actually controversial in the 21st century to state that the Bible, both the Old and New Testaments, have been corrupted thoroughly. They have been ravaged with corruption. They are deplete with they have corruption in every chapter, in fact. And so we, as Muslims, the relationship we have with the Bible is, we would say, there's some truth in it, but some falsehood inside of it. And for us to discern what's the truth.
Your book says you're gonna have a raging eternal boner with 72 Fatima virgins, bro. Like, easy now. Relax.
We go to the Quran because we believe it's the final revelation. You see, it's the final revelation which distinguishes and sieves out and filters out the truth from the falsehood. And so our relationship with the Bible is, we would say, as any historian would, frankly, that some parts of it are veracious and are acceptable, and other parts...
Your people are magnetically attracted to the cross and Christian nations. Just like all people. Okay?
There are interpolations, corruptions, and false, frankly.
So I can't argue that the Bible wasn't changed, because things have been changed over a period of time. I'm not going to lie to you there. But back in the day, let's say Moses himself, did he have the Quran?
Pardon?
Moses. The prophets
Yes.
back in the day, did he have the Quran?
So Moses, we believe that Moses was sent the Torah. And that's the same thing as what the Jews believe. So the Torah was sent to Moses. The Torah is the Torah. Now, Christians have a book called the Old Testament. Jews have the same book, but they call it the Hebrew Old Testament. The first 5 books of that book is what Jews refer to as the Torah, beginning from Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, and Numbers, and so on. Now, we would say about this is that this is not actually the Torah. These 5 books are not actually the Torah. But you can see this, number one, in the fact that there's no chain of narration which links Moses to these 5 books. Number 2, that if you see the first manuscripts that we have of the Old Testament in general, they're about 1,000 years after Moses, frankly. They're 1,000 years after Moses. So there's no connection between, for example, the Dead Sea Scrolls or whatever it may be, and Moses in a direct way. The second thing is that we believe that there was an original book sent to Moses, and that book was corrupted. But the corruption that we have now of the first 5 books.
Zherka wouldn't say shit to Mohammed Hijab's face. What the fuck? The fat guy?
Is not necessarily the Torah that Moses was originally sent, but there may be remnants of it which are. So once again, as a historian, look into it. Now, historians say, for instance, there's something called documentary hypothesis. Documentary hypothesis is the idea that there's so many different authors of the Bible. This is the dominant school of thought now in secular history, that there have been so many different kinds of authors of the Bible. They all bring different things to the Bible, and it is what it is. We would say there are some things in the Bible which are true.
Get out of the UK. Just fuck off from the UK if you don't want to. Fuck off, bro. Like, just... Well, if you're gonna do this with your platform, get off Christian internet. Get off Christian technology, bro. Go stay with your people. You fucking hate your own people, bro. Get the fuck out of the country if you want to play ball, bro. We're letting you have it, and you're like you're expanding too much, bro. You're still 500 million people behind Christians. Your God is losing by 500 million. Lol.
Well, with all due respect, the first page of the Bible has contradictions inside of it. The first page, for example, it says in the beginning God created the night and the day, and on the first day God created the night and the day. But on the 4th day, according to Genesis 1, on the 4th day God created the sun.
There it is.
But how can you have night and day without the sun? On the 3rd day, God created the vegetation, like the plantation, the shrubbery.
It said light. It didn't say, bro. This is fucking.
How can you have plants and vegetation without the sun? in Genesis chapter 2, verse 5, which is the second page of the Bible,
How can you have it? It's God doing it. Of course, God can do it. What the hell?
it said that no plant has sprung up yet. So I thought in Genesis chapter 1, it said that on the third day God created the plants. But then
So what? The sun sustains the plants or God? Are you fucking retarded?
in Genesis chapter 2, verse 5, it says there's no plants. So are there plants or no plants? So there's internal contradictions, there's external contradictions. I mean,
I don't know,
that's why most of the people of today in the 21st century have resorted to what you call metaphorizing the biblical text. So they're spiritualizing it. They're saying this is not what it's meant to be. It's just a metaphor. That's why there's so many contradictions inside of it. And this was not the dominant idea back in the days. There's only really the Alexandrian school, who are like Origin of Alexandria,
Oh my God.
that used to do that. But apart from that, no bona fide church father used to do that, frankly. Apart from the Alexandria school. So in other words, people have resorted, to metaphorizing the Bible because of the contradictions inside of it. And they can't solve those contradictions. And so what we would say is that a true book from God cannot have contradictions. That's why the Quran says that if this book was from other than God, you would have found in it many contradictions. لَوَجَدُ فِيهِ اخْتِلَافًا كَثِيرًا. You would have found in it many contradictions. And that's the challenge that we put to humanity. That if the Quran is truly from other than God, then why are there no contradictions inside of it? And so this is one of the many challenges that we put to humanity.
Vegan Skills donated $5.
Thanks for your explanation.
All
I
these
think it's really
terrorists
good.
talk about is
I
Jesus.
just question it
Take
because,
off the vest and
in
come
my
to the
belief,
cross.
I think Jesus was God and is God, and at the same time, how do you dictate what's real and not in the Bible? Like for example, and you said it was changed numerous times, but how do you dictate what's real and what's not real, in your sense? Because I've seen many times in the Bible where he says, "I am God" in different ways, but in your stance, you're saying it's not true because things have changed over the years. But how do you know what's real and what's not in the Bible?
So what is God? Let me ask you this. What is God?
The Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, the one that guides us through our daily life, right?
Do you define God as the all-powerful, the all-knowing? Do you define God in that in those terms, like the beginning, no end? Do you define God as the one who's all-powerful, the creator of the universe?
Yes.
Okay. So when you pray to God, you are praying to the creator of the universe.
Yes.
All right. So if you're praying to the creator of the universe and the one who's all powerful, the one who's without limitation, the one who is all knowing, and so on, there are many things about Jesus which make him impossible to be God. For example, if he's a human being, he is limited in knowledge. And in fact, if you look at the book of Mark, chapter 13, I think verse 34, you'll find that he went to the tree and he didn't know.
He didn't know the time.
If it was in season. He didn't know when the hour was going to be. For example, he said no one knows when the hour is going to be except for the Father. So if Jesus is God, how comes he's lacking in knowledge when we've already defined God as being all knowledgeable? What would you say to that?
Okay, so as God being all-knowing,
It's not that Jesus didn't know. It's that he also spoke in parables. Is that not knowing? Is he not giving the full truth to the people? There are lessons he's giving to the people, man. Like to have faith, even in times of darkness when you don't know. That's why he's even teaching us how to pray to the Father. Like, is he praying to himself? Is he praying to himself? It's the lesson, dude.
I being the Father, right? Let's say Jesus is his son, right? Maybe as a father, you don't tell your son everything that you want him to know up front. Maybe things need to be hidden.
But the Son is meant to be all-knowing because the Son, Jesus is meant
Fresh
to be
Pug CEO donated
The Holy Spirit is meant to be
$5.
God, because the Trinity says
Nothing
the Father
against
is
Fresh,
God,
but
the
he's
Son
the
is
worst
God, the Holy
one
Spirit
to
is
have
God.
debate
If no
low.
one, according to
He
the Bible,
low-key
it says
stood
no
his
one knows
ground,
the hour
though.
except for the Father. Okay, so does the Holy Spirit know the hour according to the Bible?
I've not seen the verse saying that, but I would assume yes.
Yes, so does Jesus and so does the Father. Yes, they know.
No. The verse says the opposite of that. So the verse says that no one knows the hour except for the Father, right? Which means that the Holy Spirit.
3 persons, one God. It's not that hard to grasp, bro.
is precluded, is not included in that.
Your prophet flew into the moon on a fucking donkey, bro. Stop talking about logic when you're in a Christian-built world because your people couldn't build shit. That's the truth. Your people couldn't build shit, bro.
So if that's the case, if the Holy Spirit is meant to be God, and the Holy Spirit and being God means knowing everything, then there's a contradiction there. Do you see the point?
I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So a contradiction is meant to be false. It's wrong. So if you're speaking to, for example, when you speak to your guests, some of the on intersexual dynamics or whatever, and then one of them says, if one of those women come, one of those escorts, or sorry to say, well, I don't know what they are. If one of them, I don't know what they are. But let's say one of those escorts come and say, "What do you consider yourself?" You say to her, "What do you consider yourself?" So you say, "Okay, she's a 6." She says, "I'm a 7 out of 10." And then 2 minutes later, she says, "I'm a 6 out of 10." And then 2 minutes later, she goes, "I'm a 1 out of 10." you're going to say this is a grand contradiction. Either that or you're confused. So if Jesus is meant to be God, he has to be all-knowing. If the Holy Spirit is meant to be God, he has to be all-knowing. But you can't be all-knowing and not know when the hour is, because then that precludes a part of very essential knowledge. You see the point?
Bro, if Allah is all good, why is one of his names the Great Deceiver? Like, what? What the fuck? Also, what about Muhammad getting possessed by a demon? How come no one fucking talks about that?
Yes, but just going back to the first thing you said about the Bible contradicting itself, how would I know that hasn't been changed too? See, here's the problem. How would I know that verse hasn't been changed as well? You get what I'm saying?
What verse? Oh yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Then that's it. So you've got layers of problems here. You've got issues here.
But hold on.
You've got one issue that you don't even know what verse has been changed and what hasn't. Then you've got the other issue, which is that the concept of God according to Christianity is contradictory, because you have one God. So Jesus is God, the Son is God. Sorry, the Father is God, the Son is God, and the Holy Spirit is God. But there's only one God, you see. So this ain't no contradiction that I'm outlining right here. Because if you went to your child who's 7 years old and you said to him, look, we believe that the Father is God, the Son is God, and the Holy Spirit is God, but there's only one God, and you do this and you throw...
Bro, Muslims have two gods because they say the Quran wasn't created. It was uncreated. So is the Quran before Allah or at the same time, or is it the word of Allah? Is it two persons? It's like the same fucking argument, bro. There's also verses that say... Actually, you know what? Let's just wrap this up. I gotta go.
You show your three fingers like that.
This is getting
I'm pretty sure that your child's going to say, this is a problem here, you know, because this is something which is basic, that there's a contradiction in the idea of conception of God.
But then
all Christians, Catholics believe in this, Protestants believe in this.
But your religion didn't even exist when Christianity was established. Okay, you're a DLC. Not even, like, bro, Gnostic Christians have a better argument than you because they were there around Christ. You guys are like ages after.
Islam solves the problem, because what Islam does for you, it says there's only one God. Jesus was not a God. He was, yes, a great man. He was the Messiah. He was a prophet. We accept Jesus. We believe his second coming, all of that kind of stuff. But to believe that he's actually God, that we pray to him, when he himself, according to the Bible, was on the cross, and he was saying, Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, God, God, why have you forsaken me? Who is he even speaking to then? Like in the Bible, this is what he's mentioned. Eli, Eli, lama sabachthani, God, God, why have you forsaken me? Mm-hmm. So it seems to me that this would be a grand...
He also says that you will be with my father soon, to the thief to the left of him. Because he knows.
Contradiction. And if he did die and then was resurrected, as in Easter, because we're in Easter time, that's what the Christians believe.
His arguments never changed.
He was running the universe at that time. You know, well, you can say, well, his body died and his soul didn't. This really, it's hermeneutical gymnastics, mental acrobatics. That's what we have to do in order to believe in things like this, brother. I have to be honest with you.
Okay, so just real quick,
so and then mental gymnastics beat your religion to the tune of 500 million. Allah is being beat by 500 million plus followers. I think it's way more, to be honest.
Last point here. So you mentioned earlier about showing your son or your daughter 3 fingers, saying one is God. But you mentioned earlier that God is all-knowing, powerful, almighty, correct? So as a man, who are we to question his logic and judgment for his creation, which is basically us questioning him as being God? So you're saying 3 in 1 doesn't make sense to us, but may make sense to him. You know what I'm saying? And then just real quick here, you mentioned Jesus isn't God
as well. You can use the argument with every single girl that comes on your podcast and says, look, I'm a transgender, I'm this, I'm that. We'll say, look, it doesn't make sense to you, but it makes sense to God. It makes sense. Truth is not relative. Truth is objective.
But hold on.
Like, for example, I said 2 + 2 = 4.
Yeah,
you cannot...
2 + 2 equals God telling you to marry a 6-year-old. Doesn't that hurt? I bet it does, dude. I bet it hurts. I bet it hurts. Chat mad. Come on, bro. Come on. We don't want to get mean on you guys.
Say, well, 2 + 2 = 4 to me, but it doesn't mean it to you or to God. If 2 + 2 = 4 is not something which is static, all kinds of absurdities will result. So, for example, the law of non-contradiction, that you cannot have 2 opposite things at the same place at the same time existing together. You cannot have a tall, short man. You cannot have, a squared circle and so on and so forth. If you do away with this rule, then any absurdity follows. That's a logical precept. If you do away with the law of non-contradiction, any absurdity follows, which means truth is not even it's not even something which is obtainable anymore. There's no such thing as truth. If you remove the laws of logic, then there is no such thing as truth. An absurdity can follow from that.
Yeah, that would apply to people, human beings, but to God, you're putting a law or restriction. You know what I'm saying? But real quick, so
No. Just on this point, I wouldn't agree, because I'm saying to you that the laws of logic apply. God is the one who, we would say, he is the one who
how would the laws of logic apply to God when you need faith to believe in God? You can't rationalize infinity. What are you talking about?
the laws of logic himself.
Stop, man.
The thing is, if you don't believe in the laws of logic and, for example, non-contradiction, or for example, 2 + 2 = 4, if you don't believe in any of that, then you can't have a conversation with anyone about anything, because there's no common ground. You can never find out what truth is.
Yeah.
okay, so
You get it?
creation itself, who decided 2 + 2 = 4? Man did, right? I'm just saying, on a basis,
What?
2 + 2.
Fresh.
Who decided that?
No.
Who decided 2 + 2 = 4? Is that a serious question?
Yeah,
With all
no,
due respect,
I'm
like,
asking, no, I'm asking
Fresh, are you serious? Man didn't decide that.
you.
no one decided 2 + 2 = 4.
So how did it come about?
What? Fresh, are you kidding me? What are you doing? What the fuck are you doing? Oh my god. Fresh thinks that a bunch of Stone Age humans got together. They all got in a circle and they said, 2 + 2 = 4. You agree? We all agree, right? We all agree. Every tribe on Earth, who cares what they get? Well, we're gonna stick with 4. And everyone's like, all right, cool. Yo, come on, bro.
Oh,
2 + 2. Look, mathematics is a language. Yeah? Mathematics is a language, and it's actually it's a tautology. So tautology is when you say the same thing twice. 2 + 2 is an expression of 4. So the equal sign in mathematics shows that 2 + 2 is equivalent to 4. Do you get it? So it's like, say, a tautology is if I'm saying it's raining, it's raining. I'm saying the same thing twice. It's always true. So because in logic, a tautology is always true, anything with an equal sign in mathematics is also always true. It's not, no one decided that. That's something which you call an objective truth. If you don't have it, you won't be able to do physics, you won't be able to do science, you can't do logic, you can't do it. You can't even have a conversation.
I agree.
But let me tell you something, brother. I'll be honest with you, my friend. What is your name again?
Fresh.
Fresh. My friend, if you really believed in what you're talking about right now, which is that you're okay to think that potentially the laws of logic or mathematics can be relative, then really, like, the where you're seated right now.
That's not the argument, though. The argument
the
is,
argument?
if I'm God and I'm the creator, I'm almighty, I don't
Yeah.
follow the rules of logic or whatever you say as man.
Okay.
Why would I do that?
Okay.
I'm just questioning because I want to know from your opinion, how can you question God himself if he's the creator and
I'm
almighty?
telling you, brother, that 2 + 2 = 4. 2 + 2 = 4 is something which is tautological.
Yeah, for man.
It's something which is true always,
man.
and it's objectively true.
But not for God, though. You get what I'm saying?
It's objectively true
Whoa.
for God as well, yes.
No, but you're putting that on God himself.
What?
How can you
I'm
do
not
that?
putting it on God. God put it on
You
us.
just did.
Can God make 2 + 2 = 3? Of course he can.
Michelle Obama Hossack donated $5. Niggas defending those 72 virgins with his life. Niggas really pay $350 for Zherka to say 3 life path. I just do what I do.
No, we barely talk about life path.
God put that on us.
No, as man, but not
God put that on
himself.
us. I don't put anything on God. God made
you
it
just
so
did, bro.
that the universe and our minds, a priori, all the logical precepts that we come to are based on what we call the laws of logic. Do you get it? If you do away with the laws, like I said before, if you do away with the laws,
Chat, can God make 2 + 2 = 3? Go. Can he do it? I'm asking everyone. We're all on the same team, right? We're all anti-Fresh. I'm kidding. I love Fresh.
of logic, everything fails. Do you get me? You can't have a discussion about anything.
Okay. What are you guys, Muslims or Christians in chat? Like, it's always a mix. So Muslims and Christians agree 2 + 2 can be 3 if God wills it? Right. But is that the nature of God? Because 2 + 2 is 4. Like, Fresh has an argument. It's just he shouldn't be the one squeezing.
We're gonna disagree on this point, but well,
Okay, no problem.
The fact is 2 + 2 is 4 in the human world. I'm just saying, in God's realm, it could be in anything. But
What's
first-
God's realm? I'm proposing that 2 + 2 = 4 in every possible world. That's what I'm proposing.
But how do you know?
What?
You're not God.
If you put it in a modal logic format, it's the same thing.
No.
What?
Okay.
With a possible worlds format, like for example, if you, something called modal logic, you got there's no contradiction in that. For you to say 2 plus 2 is not equal to 4 in all possible worlds, you have to show me a contradiction of 2 plus 2 equals 4.
No, but I'm not talking about, for example, us as human beings.
But let me be honest with you, Fresh. I honestly don't believe that you would put your life on the fact that 2 plus 2 is not equal to 4 in every possible world. But
Irrelevant.
you are forced to talk about it like this because you know you cannot defend the Trinity.
He's losing to Fresh. The chat saying he's losing. The Fresh and Fit chat switched up
10
on
donated $5. Mohammed Hijab dodging Sam to debate Fresh, a true scholar.
Yeah, true scholar. This guy's a fraud, bro. Remember, dude, you know behind the scenes, people who know him, literally, he's a flat earther behind the scenes. Mohammed Hijab is not a dumb guy, but he goes live and goes, well, no, the Quran says that the sun, what is it, sets into a muddy puddle. That's what the Quran said. But Quran's correct about the firmament being egg-shaped, like that. Yeah, that's correct. That's very scary that they got one thing right.
See, without rejecting logic.
Well, the reason
get
why
it?
is because you mentioned before the Bible has contradictions, so I don't want to go into that because obviously speaking, you could just say it's wrong or
I
right.
found it so weird when Sneeko reacted to a clip of mine that's like from a month ago or something, and he said Christians are always comparing to Islam. No, they're not. Isn't Sneeko's whole stream about comparing to Christianity and why Andrew Tate convinced him otherwise? Isn't it the other way around? Like, we never, I think besides Zherka, and I don't even think Nick compares that much anymore. Like, and I try not to do it because it's like, I feel phony when I see you guys in. You know how many Muslims stop me at Best Buy anytime I go buy something? Muslims will stop me, take a picture with me. They'll be so stoked, and I'll be like, I don't want to like go talk shit about them now. I feel so phony if I do that. And then they put Mohammed Hijab on, just spewing bullshit.
I'm just saying,
You know what I mean?
naturally, if you look at God as a creator, the all being almighty, if he decides to
He
plus 2 is
ducked
3,
Shamoun, yeah.
how can you question?
No, bro, you know what's funny? The only person Mohammed Hijab ducked is the dude who speaks Arabic fluently. Like, if Hijab's not a phony, I don't know who. Bro, like, come on, man. Come on. Like, just think about for content's sake, you want to see that. Yeah. I don't think you could pay. He ducked Jay Dyer? Really? The Orthodox guy, yeah? Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Why? Dyer's great for the Orthodox crowd, right? Shamoun is the best, though. Shamoun, I don't know how to say it, bro.
It's that's, okay. 2 plus 2 is, you cannot be decided to be 3, because what that would be, that itself, that process is an impossibility. It's like saying God can create a squared circle. So the process of deciding that 2 plus 2 equals 3 is not possible in the real world. It's in the category of logical classification called impossibilities.
God can square the circle. The fuck?
Do you get it? And impossibilities cannot exist in the real world. So, for example, a squared circle cannot exist in the real world. Likewise, the decision or the act of deciding that 2 plus 2 equals 3 cannot be made true in the real world. Do you get it?
I got you, bro.
Okay. Let's move on to the next thing, brother. We can think about this in our own time. Religion.
The chat's saying that fucking Fresh got a point. Like, that's crazy.
I wanted to speak about more your stuff,
Against
guys,
the
because
job.
I know you guys do intersexual dynamics. Let me ask you a question, guys. I want to get to it, which is, what do you decide is a high-value man? And I want my run on this one as well, because we spoke about religion. I let people decide what they think is right, but you guys are, let's say, you're specialists now. This is your area. I want to pick your brains a little bit, because I think you don't know, your impact is actually quite a significant impact, and I think that you actually made some very interesting contributions. You know, especially what now they call it the men's rights movement, or men's activism and so on. And I think some of your contributions, frankly, are good. I've heard some of them. I watched on YouTube. I wanted to start with this question. What do you guys think is a high-value man? How do you define
You
it?
want to go first? Go ahead.
You good?
No, you go ahead, man.
Nah, I don't want to continue real quick. I got it.
Okay.
I want to go further in religion, but it's fine. Go ahead.
No, I mean, y'all can if you guys
No,
want. After.
let's change topic.
So, I mean, this is a subjective thing, right? For everyone, it's going to be different. So, I don't really think there's a truly wrong or right answer. But what I will say is that it's going to probably err on the side of, obviously, a higher earner than average. someone who has respect from other individuals, has a network of people that are also.
You know what's the real answer that's like objective? The real answer for what is a high value male, which, you know, changes, that's hard to answer. Like everyone gets that wrong, right? The real answer is a high value man is a good looking man. And here's what I mean. Who is that fucking stud who went to prison? Remember that fucking guy went to prison and then they dropped his photo and he became famous and ditched his girl and stuff? I'm not talking about good looking man, like a really good looking man, like hyper Chad, not Chad. There's Chads. I'm talking about a hyper Chad. A hyper Chad wins everywhere, even if he plays PlayStation at home all day. Even if he doesn't live up to his potential, he's a winning machine. Have you seen those guys? So that's what I'd say. I'd say genetically, that's who everyone... Like, bro, Chad, would you rather be a hyper Chad or a rich, fat retard? Or just a rich, fat guy? I think I'd rather be a broke, hyper Chad. Not a regular Chad. We're talking about, like, cream of the crop. Like, can do Hollywood but doesn't want to. Shit like that. I think the whole world would want to be that guy, right? He's the animus.
So on his level, as far as status, whether it's financial, social, etc. And he's somebody that other people want to essentially be like. I mean, to put it bluntly, is the guy that other women want to be with and other men want to be. If I'm going to put it very simply.
What about you, Fresh? What do you say about this?
So the term high value, the word itself, I get it. It's being used around.
Yeah, we hate using that term. We never use it. We actually never use that term.
Yeah.
Ever.
You know, but no. Let me give a real answer. Yo, this one's gonna blow you away, dude. Yo, I got it.
Jesus is God donated $5.
Yes, sir.
I can't imagine being a kid and seeing your father with another woman that isn't my mom. That's what Islam believes. Very evil. They also believe they're allowed to rape their enemies' wives during war.
Whoa, just chill, bro. We're trying to have fun right now. Like, what are you doing? Maybe you should debate a job, bro. Holy shit. What the? This is going dark, bro. Maybe I gotta switch religions. We're raping people? I'm kidding. All right, yeah, check this out. The only high value male that I've ever seen that has it all is Tom Cruise, the Scientologist. The MK Ultra CIA Tom Cruise. He jumps out of planes, can fly helicopters and jets. He can do everything. And there it is. I knew he'd do that short. He's 5'7". I knew you guys would do. You guys are so jealous of Tom, bro. You're so fucking jealous of Tom Cruise. It's crazy, dude. But 5'7", bro. Like, give me. You know what's funny is Chat is 5'7" and can't do any of that shit. Plus, you seen Eyes Wide Shut, dude. Tom Cruise is the best looking human being that the world has ever seen, bro. Tom Cruise. Think of him smiling at you at a Starbucks. You're straight and you're like, cool. You know, you feel, whoa. Tom Cruise is the high value male everyone talks about, man. Now, Brad Pitt could do all that crazy shit, jump out of planes and stuff. You know, we'd throw him in there too. But yeah, Tom Cruise is... Scientology has the only high value
so
male.
we use it sparingly.
Mel Gibson when he's drunk.
I'm intrigued by it. I'm not
Mel Gibson when he's drunk and mad at his Russian wife is a high value weak male. Yeah.
Out the window.
Yeah.
Fresh, you were going to say something.
No. I was gonna just define high value for me.
Go ahead, please. Yeah.
So it just means a man that has worked on himself, he's successful in his own right, has a network of people around him that care about him and respect him, and at the same time has values in the marketplace. For example, maybe it could be singing, it could be, for example, his business, it could be, for example...
Oh, God, bro, what is this?
Omer ibn Abi Talib donated $5. Zherka, what's the best way to convert a Muslim into Christianity? Like those stubborn-ass bombers are impossible to get them to worship a god that's also a human, that's also a spirit. They think the world is simple and the fact the Quran is
Bro, the only way you can change a Muslim's mind is by introducing him to a blonde woman. That's when he stops talking about his religion. That's when he starts having fun in life. He doesn't convert, right? He's too based for that. I like that they're stubborn. I love the stubborn.
his skill set to the public, whatever that may be, makes him high value in the eyes of other people as a whole. That's what I would say.
Would you say that, and this is a question to both of you, is this an intrinsic classification or is it extrinsic? In the sense that if it's intrinsic, then, for example, like a block of gold, it has intrinsic value.
No. Taylor Swift is not a hot blonde. She's ugly as fuck. I'm sorry to say. Wouldn't hit that. But there are blondes, I just can't think of them. Who's a very attractive blonde? I always blank when you guys like, who's the fucking celebrity we all like? Robbie, yeah. She's okay. I mean, I saw some photos when she's not dolled up. Like, I only like Alba, really. I saw Alba when she's like 20. She's like 40 years old, and she looks even better now. But she's not really a blonde.
Let's say, for example, that like, you know, let's say a TikToker. Yeah.
Bro, look, man. So I swear to God, the OnlyFans chicks I see on Twitter are a lot more attractive than Sydney Sweeney. Sweeney looks like she's got something wrong down about her. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not a huge fan of that one, bro. Like, I'd rather have Sniper Wolf than Sydney Sweeney. I like Sniper. Can't think of a blonde though. There's a blonde that we all love. Extra. You know who I'm gonna say?
Let's go.
Yo, I got it. I got the answer. Check. Guess who I'm
King's
about to say?
Lange donated $5 to the last dono on how to convert. You make them do an unforgivable sin like murder, and the only way they could be redeemed by Christ. Zherka give us a mini rundown, eyes wide shut.
Bro, what makes you think a Muslim will convert to Christianity after killing someone? They kill people all the time. What the fuck are you talking about? If anything, they become more convicted. What are you talking about, bro? I'm gonna say, you know, Marilyn Monroe is my favorite blonde to ever exist. She's a very good looking woman. Yeah, that one's. They don't make them like that now. I like that one.
Doing some kind of a video dancing or something like that. You couldn't say that has intrinsic value, but its value is dictated by the marketplace. So is your classification of a high value man, is it more intrinsic or extrinsic in that
What do you
sense?
mean butt ran through?
Zara donated
No!
$5. Zherka, where the fuck did you get that Mohammed is a flat earther? Look at his tweet from 2021 asking flat earthers, why don't you guys go to the edge of the earth and take pictures and videos so we all know you are right?
Are you
Stop
fucking,
yapping.
Are you stupid, bro? He's had literal Q&A sessions on live, and he knew all the flat earth arguments. Like, he's not a dumb guy. He doesn't believe in a spinning ball. Like, don't be an idiot, okay? And he has to do that to protect his money. But Andrew Tate, Tristan Tate, Nick Fuentes, Mohammed Hijab, all of them are flat earthers behind the scenes, bro. I hate to hurt your feelings.
So I would say it's up to the individual, because I made a song, High Value Man, funny song by the way. But the term itself, high value, was used as a precursor for wearing watches and chains and having success, cars and girls. But that was my opinion at the time what high value was. But as you evolve, you become more placed on different aspects of life. And maybe for you, maybe just a TikToker that's on the internet with a lot of views. So I think it's just up to the person or individual what they decide for that to be.
I mean, it's a combination.
See, I've got a take on this, guys. I don't know what you guys think of this.
Yeah, go
but-
ahead.
Hello?
No, go ahead.
We got you.
Yeah, sorry. So I was going to say, look, I get what you guys are saying, especially when you speak about men and women, yeah? But here's my take on this. I think there's a kernel of truth in what you guys are saying, but I think it's mostly in the economic marketplace. So, for example, here's what I would say. When you guys use the term high value, you're usually using it in terms of what women would be attracted to, i.e. vis-a-vis something like hypergamy. And there's ample evidence. There's a Queen study, which I think is the most authoritative, that hypergamy is true.
Bro, hypergamy doesn't exist to really good looking men. That's the fucking dark black pill of hypergamy. It doesn't fucking exist to chads, dude. That's why everyone who talks about... Never mind, bro. This is getting dark.
Like, in the sense that if a woman is given a choice between a man with a, like ceteris paribus, everything else remaining the same, a man who's a higher earner versus a lower earner, she's always going to go for the higher earner, in fact. And that's the truth. Likewise, a lot of the stuff about what you say about women who have less experience in what you call a body count or something like that, it's true that's probably in the market, sexual market value is probably going to be less ceteris paribus, everything else remaining the same. However, here's the thing that I would think that is important to make a distinguish between. That's why I asked you the question about like intrinsic versus extrinsic, because in this very strict parameter of how the other or the opposite gender sees that person for marriage or long-term committal relationship or even casual relationship, that this whole high value man has weight. This term has weight. But if we're talking about intrinsically, as like, for example, remember I gave you the example of the block of gold versus the TikTok video. Intrinsically, a high value man has always classically meant, usually in ethics, for example, all the way up to Christian morality and Islamic morality and Jewish morality, most of the world's cultures, a high value man or a high value woman has always been like a virtuous man or a virtuous woman. So virtue dictates the value of someone on an intrinsic level. Virtue. So what is virtue? Like in the past, even before Christ, you had a person called Aristotle, who died 323 BCE. He wrote a book called Nicomachean Ethics. And he had something called virtue ethics, which basically like he mentioned some of the key virtues for human beings. The most important one for a man that makes him high value, opposite to a woman, and this is what I'm putting forward, in that paradigm, and also in the paradigm of Islam and Christianity, I would argue, and Judaism, is bravery. I'll put it this way. If you had the most rich man in the world, but he was a coward, he'd not be a high value man. It would be a disqualifier on an intrinsic level. Yes, he might be sought after. It might be sought after in terms of like women might still want to be with him, but they don't really want to be with him because of what he is or who he is. They want to be with him because of what he can offer. In other words, they want to be with his money, really. They want to have access to his money. So they're using him, utility value. Yeah, they're using him for his money because they're trying to access funds. That's what they're trying to do. He's basically an ATM machine. And so what I wanted to distinguish between is a high value man on an intrinsic level who exhibits things like temperance, magnanimity, forgiveness, mercy, kindness, but most and chief most among which is bravery, because a man needs bravery more than a woman to provide and protect.
So yeah. I would agree with that. But my thing is that's why I was because you only spoke about it from the female lens, like how women deem like women deeming the guy high value. But what I'm saying is that you garner the respect of other men, and a coward does not garner the respect of other men. That's why it's very important. Like when I look at this term, not to just look at it from the lens of what females are attracted to, rather what do other men respect. And obviously cowardice is never respected. So yeah, if someone's a coward, then they automatically are disqualified because other men don't respect them. They can have all the money in the world, but they're a coward. So I see a perspective with virtue. But I'm saying, like, you know, it's pretty much already implied that you're a virtuous man and that you're not a coward when other men respect you, because men, we tend to value other men based on their meritocracy, and that meritocracy is, you know, encapsulated in a bunch of different traits. Are you honest? Are you a man of your word? Are you trustworthy? Can I trust you to get something done and get it done when you say you're going to get it done? Are you willing to stand up for not just yourself but for other people that you love and care about?
A high value male is an honest man. Yeah, you ever had an honest friend? They raise you, bro. They make you want to do better. They make you forgive your enemies and just work hard. And yeah, it's so contagious, bro. It's so rare, too, when you think of your friends.
So cowardice has never been respected. So I would say that the virtue, that argument that you're making, which I agree with actually, falls into the other men respecting you, because that's what men respect, is meritocracy.
Like when I think of most of my life, why I was super loyal to my friends was because I didn't want to be shamed. I felt like, God, something's watching me. So out of shame, I would play the game perfect, be a perfect homie. But now as I get older, I'm like, no, that's not the only reason. That's crazy. That's crazy. Like that makes you so metallic, you know?
I see what you're saying, but here's the thing. So this is an interesting parameter, but it's also an economic one. So
like, not out of shame.
I think like other men would respect another man with a lot of money, right?
Yeah.
And they would never respect a man who's a coward, even if he has a lot of money.
Yeah.
So here's the point. I think that a lot of the red pill stuff, like that, we get involved in and stuff, or the discussions that we have,
statistically, what are the chances Mohammed Hijab goes through a divorce? Because he's married the old-fashioned way, so it works. But the statistics are damaging anyone who's in Western lands, even the traditional people. So that's interesting. Like,
overemphasize how much money we have to make. in order to satisfy or to attract other
Why is
women.
the chat saying
And we underemphasize the virtue
Fres&Fit chat is just spamming child marriage?
aspect of it. And I'm not saying that the money aspect of it is not important. I'm pretty sure that the money aspect of it is important, especially depending on how generous the man is. Because if the man is not generous, and which is one of the virtues, having a lot of money is not a problem. It doesn't matter. Even the woman, if she finds him to be stingy and wealthy, that combination will never work out because she knows what he's trying to do. So I feel like maybe, I don't know, moving forward with like Fresh&Fit and stuff, if we focus on the virtue aspect of things a little bit more, because I feel like the society is moving on to a degenerate state, bro. I'm not going to lie to you. And that is fueled by hedonism and capitalism. And also this idea that now Mammoth is the new god, which is the god of money. The god of money is the new god. People are now chasing money and hedonism and frivolous pursuits. They think that, for example, Rollo Tomasi wrote a book called The Rational
Talk
Mind,
about
right?
Andrew Tate.
You've had him on your show before. I've read the entire book cover to cover. And he mentions in his book that, you need to sleep with 50 women or whatever it may be in order to achieve certain levels so you can really have the experience, to be with women. I think I've seen you, Fresh, mention something like that before because I watched a video before with you guys in Sneeko having a discussion.
Yeah, we've
and,
Fresh calls it spinning. Not Fresh, excuse me. Rollo calls it spinning plates or plate theory.
Yeah.
He's 50.
I call it getting experience, right, and being able to understand how the sexual marketplace works. But yeah, I mean, sorry, you were saying.
But on this point, bro, here's what I would say.
Yeah.
There is no evidence that having sex with a lot of women translates into an ability to understand women in the context of a committed relationship or longevous relationship. There is no evidence of that. So this is where the red pill makes a lot of claims, assertions, but they're not backed.
Look, I'm just gonna say it. I want you guys to get married one woman at a time. Do it correct, but check it out.
ZL donated $5. Hypergamy in Islam is an 8-year-old boy competing with 30-year-old Muslim for the same girl.
What the fuck are you talking? Listen, guys, I'm just gonna say it. I want you guys to be with one woman, like how I usually am when I'm not in slut mode. But check this out. Here's the truth, man. If you haven't smashed a ton of bad-looking, nice, fine-looking women, you have not lived, dude. You have. I don't even remember smashing it. I just remember being like, is that John Zherka? I just remember looking in the mirror. I'm like, yo, that's John Zherka. Bro, I'm telling you, bro, don't do it. But the fucking, dude, once you go to this side, there's no going back, bro. It's like, when I look at the girls you guys smash, this is my wife. When you guys introduce me to your wives, I go, dude. You know what they're doing out there, man? You know what they're doing now? Bro, we gotta live like we're 15 years old, bro. You guys are missing out, bro. No, you're not missing out. There's more headaches on this side. If I was in the 1950s, I would be so for one chick, bro. But I'm realistic, And I'm gonna say it like this, bro. If your wife isn't hot as fuck, by the time she's 40, she's gonna be one ugly monstrosity, dude. Like, bro, they don't age how you think they age, bro. They're not gonna be like, when Zherka's 50 years old, he's like Tom Cruise, good looking. They don't do that shit. They do the other thing, bro. I'm telling you, bro, your wife gotta be so bad if you want to make it work, bro. Like, yeah. I'm not destroying marriage. I said I want my child to get married if it was a Christian nation, but it's a devilish nation, bro. It's like, you got a 70% divorce rate. I don't want you guys to get screwed and come back to my DM saying, you fucked me over with the red, you should have red pilled me on marriage. Zherka, just take the mid virgin, bro. What? I wish. They're not mid. Mid for their V card would be they're not, bro. That's not how it works. I would, but they're not mid. They're not. They're ugly as fuck. That's the truth, bro. They're ugly as fuck. I went and looked at them and I was like, what the fuck is this? I'm used to like TNA, bro. I'm used to like tits and ass, bro. Like we're fucking men, aren't we? You're gonna fucking have a square SpongeBob looking chick in your fucking kitchen making you purity pancakes. Get the fuck out of here, bro. Yo, everyone on earth should marry a hoe. Because a hoe is good looking. Or you run the risk of marrying a non-hoe who is fat and ugly and later tells you that she used to be a hoe. Bro, are you stupid, bro? Are you mad? What, are you fucking retarded? What do you think the world is? You really think you're gonna get what you want, you stupid idiot? You think Trump with the billions of dollars gonna do it? You're gonna do it? You stupid fucking retard? You're not Donald Trump. You're a fucking loser. You gotta marry a bad looking hoe, bro. I'm telling you, bro, when that fat, ugly monster in your kitchen says, I had a foursome in college. Hope you can forgive me. You're gonna tune into my stream with my bad-looking bitch who never had that three-way, right? But she's just got a bit of a past, but not like yours. Yours got the fat, ugly black pill past. Yours got the no class past. But got the bit of class with ass, but still a hoe. Yours is a literal disgusting demon, bro. Like, bro, imagine when you kill yourself. Because you go, holy shit, I married the fattest, ugliest bitch on earth for purity. And she want to tell me something. She hasn't told me yet, but she said she wants to have a talk. What do you think the talk's going to be about, bro? I'm telling you, bro, when your great-grandfather said, son, the only thing that matters is beauty. He was right, because he knew the nature of fucking bitches, bro. He knew it. Your grandpa knew. That's why he said, she got DNA or what? It's a long, boring life to have a square purity woman that's not gonna be pure. Look at the statistics, bro. By 18 years old, 7 minimum bodies in traditional nations with Instagram. Digital age. Instagram age, bro. Don't be a fucking idiot now. The only guys that I can see getting a purity mid is like 4 bodies. Is that a purity mid or is it 0? What's a mid? What is the mid we're talking about? The only guys who I can see doing that, guys like me, but we're too addicted to the TNA. So we don't do it. These ones are hotter. That's the truth, bro. That's the black pill. Yeah, you guys wanted red. You wanted religious pill. Bro, until we have legislature that aligns with the Bible, you're not getting the marriage you think you're getting. You're getting... I'll say it like this. I have a feeling even Mohammed Hijab will go through a divorce in the next 10 years. I can see it, bro. I know people more traditional than him in my family, bro. In my extended family who've gone through divorces. Like, the world's very different now. Yeah. I remember I had to change my position on this because I'm like, I kept losing sleep going, what if I'm lying to my people? Like, what if my chatters actually marry a purity square woman, like a square, and then she reveals the truth about her old nature in college? Will my chatters kill themselves? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck? That's crazy, man. I gotta tell the truth, bro. This is unicorn shit. All I do is close my eyes and think of all the chads I know that got married, and when they talk about their wife's body count, it gets very dark, bro. Like, we're all just fucking drinking some beers, and they look at me like, Zherka's the red pill guy. He's gonna chew me up. And I'm quiet. I don't talk. Because I know you guys are in store for it. And all that. And, Nah, get married, guys. I'm sure she's had 0 bodies. Or is it? Remember, people were believing Brecky, the OnlyFans girl, wasn't that bad. Jinxie can date her, or Jinxie or Jixie, whatever his name is. And then some guy leaks he has videos of Brecky in a 3-way with him. And I'm like, dude, Jinxie, you're spending fucking alone time with her. You're gonna fall for her for real, bro.
Khalil donated $5. We are all marrying bops. We are all cooked.
Oh.
Grab your religious texts. It's over.
Chill. No. Here's the best part of the black pill, right? The best part is your wife is gonna be hot as fuck. That's the good part. You gotta stop seeing them as human, bro. They're just tit, ass. That's all they've become. That's their evolution here. That's their evolution in the world. This is depressing, bro. I can see you guys actually on edge right now. I love the chaos, though. Like, no. Just take the God pill. Okay. God pill. Oh, wow. Virgin model. Thank you. I'm so glad I took that pill. It saved my life, dude. Come on, bro. Why didn't give that pill to Jinxie right now? I'd rather Jinxie keep hitting that Brecky. He just gotta keep hitting him.
Let's go, pal. I'm making it with girls here.
ZL donated $5. At this point, just do it to breed good-looking athletic kids to make money from them.
Yeah, dude, I'm not gonna lie. The only thing I look at is if I can have good kids with someone. Because I have with a 70% divorce rate and my anger issues, I just want good-looking kids.
Women Peacock 9 years old donated $5. Only option is to scout for your young family members at this point. Then later on marry your own daughter.
You know, you're onto something, bro. Zherka, you can buy virgins in some country. Oh, okay. Dude, that's the thing. We talk about it, but we don't. When the fuck have Zherka been on eBay scrolling? Like, we talk about it, but we don't do it as a community, bro. We just talk about it. You guys come to me and, I have an idea. We can buy a woman. Like, let's traffic these bitches. Fucking let's traffic then, bro. Andrew, what's up, bro? What do you got for me? And then we never do it. We never actually do. We just talk about it. I go get a little distracted by e-girls, and then you guys get distracted with those hoes in your hometown. We never actually buy women. That's the problem. We talk about it, and I don't want to be the first. How stupid would that look? One of you gotta say, here, I fucking ordered this bride from eBay. This is it, bitch. This is fucking awesome. Look at this. Okay, looks great. Okay, how old is you? Right? And then we'll be inspired to do it. When you open your YouTube channel and say, look at my fucking bitch, eBay. But that's all talk, bro. You guys just talk, yap all day. You don't actually buy them. Like, buy them first before you yap. Don't give me advice.
Because the idea is, I feel like there's just ad hoc justifications and rationalization for hedonism, which is effectively just doing whatever you want, whatever you desire. But really, like, let's
if you have a problem with hedonism, why didn't you open your fat mouth to Andrew Tate? Why'd you suck him off for his audience to increase your book sales? You all have a problem all of a sudden. You have a very aggressive problem with the red pill now, but you couldn't do it in front of money-making Andrew. You're saying Brecky was a hoe? Question mark. Well, I'm saying what you thought she was. She's on someone's video, and he's literally, I don't even know why he did this. He said, look, there's video of me in a 3-way with Brecky. And he shows it, but doesn't show the internet. Like, he has proof. And Jinxie's dating her, and she's pretending she's like, oh, I just do some photos here and there. It's never just some photos here and there, bro. It's never just that. Okay? And to be honest, bro, Brecky's a good-looking girl. Like, I want Jinxie to stay there. I just don't want him to defend. Bro, I should write a book on how to date a hoe, right? You never defend her. When chat calls her a hoe, she's a hoe. She wants to live her life like a hoe. Like, yeah, don't defend her. You can't go live and say, that's my baby girl. You can't do that, bro. You can't do that because she didn't protect your reputation. She went full on money-making hoe mode. She hurt your fucking brand. She hurt your money. She hurt your respect. You can't go live and say, this is a good one because I decided so. Because she didn't defend you. If she defended you, then maybe it's different. But come on, bro. All right.
Assess this claim, the claim that if you have sex with a lot of women, that's going to lead to you knowing women more and therefore having a stronger relationship, more longevous relationship with some kind of woman. But it doesn't seem to me that there's any evidence to that effect. Because I was looking at some studies on casual sex. Yeah.
Yep.
And I was looking at, it was like 5 or 6 of them that have been done. And all of those studies, first of all, they're mixed, they're contradictory, funny enough. Some of them say that, they harm women. Actually, most of them say they harm women. Casual sex harm women. That is a consensus psychological finding.
It harms men too, a lot of these studies, but it doesn't harm it.
Some of them say it harms men, some of them say it
CIA
doesn't harm
donated
men.
$5.
There's no study that says it helps
Zherka,
in
are you
relationships, do you know what I
adept?
mean?
Yeah, of course not, and they would never
What is
run a
that?
study like that because it would be considered unethical, right? And we know that when they run these studies, they have to be politically correct. They got to get funding. They have to do it in a certain way to get the blessing. But what I will say,
Smaga mode.
is,
Let's go, chat.
with the whole body sleeping with women or whatever it may be.
I just can't wear that hat when we're talking about smashing bitches because I'm not going to lie, dude. I done fucked more bitches than any man I've ever clicked on a YouTube video. I've never... When I watched Andrew Tate, I was like, done more than him because he started getting good at it around 33 years old. I was good at it at 22, 21. And when I look at videos, I go, I'm the king of that market of busting nuts. And that's why I'm telling you, bro, when you guys get reincarnated, choose good looking, bro. I'm not even that good looking, but I just have a few points on good looks. And I'm telling you, every bitch in my city that was like perfect looking, I got behind, hush, 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 hush. And then I'd roll them over and say, your best friend texted me because I'm evil. And they'd say, no. And I'd say, there's a 9 out of 10 crying. Dude, I should film this. But I would savor the moments. I wouldn't film it. And I'd be like, cry? You're going to cry for the broke bouncer boy? You're going to cry for the... And I kept doing it. Then I went to Twitch and the e-girls. Hush, 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 hush. And I fucking smashed them out. Went to Miami. All the servers of Moxie's. Nah, just 2 of them. Bow, just grabbed the head. Hush, hush, hush. Bro, my life, the last 7 years, I piped so much fine chick. I get stopped on the street. Fine ass bitch stops me. Zherka. And I go, I don't know her. You know how they change their look? And then I get hit with the memory of, I don't fuck this bitch too. This bitch that just stopped me. And I go, fuck, I'm that guy, bro. I'm telling you, bro. Life is short. You gotta get behind a shoosh. You gotta get behind a woof. You gotta woof, bro. Real man shit, bro. You gotta be that. You gotta be that nigga in the like, shoosh. Or you could be Mohammed Hijab. You wanna be Zherka and Hashush, or you wanna be Hishush? Come on, bro. Get itchy with me, bruh. Come on. You want to be this fucking nobody? Come on. Hashush in them. Hashush. Not like, oh, it's Sam Frank. Ew. No, it's a Zherka type chick. You know you know what I get with. Life's short, man. You gotta smash, bro. You're not getting the marriage you thought. You're not getting the marriage, bro. You're not in the 1950s, bro. You go hashush. But Zherka, that's degenerate. While you're doing this, hashish. At least I'm doing this, hashish. You're doing this, hashish. Which hashish is we going to, bruh? Are we going to the promised land? Come on, you think Hitler didn't smash?
It's not necessarily to understand women better. It's to understand the women that you don't want to necessarily be with. And I think that's half the game because what ends up happening, right, in a And remember, I mean, you're in the UK, so you know this too. I mean, the UK is going through this as well. We live in a very hypersexualized world where women are more promiscuous than ever before. So my thing is, right, I look at it like, and I was just having a discussion with Andrew. He's a devout Orthodox Christian, and he saw my perspective on this too. If you're gonna try to meet a woman in the West where they are promiscuous, they don't necessarily adhere to gender roles when it doesn't benefit them. They want a man that makes money, but they don't want to necessarily submit, etc. I think it's very important for you as a man to identify these women early on and not bring them into your life, because the beauty of religion, right, whether it's Christianity, Islam, or Judaism, is that it basically had an institution of shame, and it had what I call training wheels to keep women honest with their man. It pretty much shamed them for not doing things that they were supposed to do. But these training wheels are effectively gone. We live in a secular world now, and unless you're a very religious man and you're meeting a very religious woman, it's going to be very difficult for you to find a woman that's virtuous.
You know, Pearl told me something when I was talking to her. We had a phone call, it's like only half a year ago now. Wow. And she said, Zherka, you know what's funny is that you always talk about the 1950s, but nope, for thousands of years, women have been hoes. And I'm like, what? She's like, yeah, it's always been the same thing. Now it's a lot more, like a little more, but it's not that far off from the good old days. I'm like, what do you mean? She's like, yeah, the whole chivalry, opening doors for women and stuff, they've had even more power. You go into the Victorian times and stuff, like, they were skanks, bro. And I was like sitting there, I was like, what if it's all a lie? Like, because I go off what our parents went through, but,
So my thing is, I think if and the other reason why I think this is so important is because when you
would that liberate you from red pill rage if you found out that it's always been this degen on the female side? Would that actually calm you down, and would you actually be like, hey, I'm less angry because like if you got a revelation, or would that anger you? No, think about it like in a mature way. Don't you ever feel like you got the worst part of the timeline to be born in for a normal life? Like, oh man, I got born in the transgender chapter, the most degenerate chapter, the end times. But if it was always this degen, and maybe not transgender, but they were just skanks, or they were just not faithful and stuff. If the whole timeline of history, the female nature has been the same, like Pearl predicts, or she believes, in a way that calms me down. In a way where I go, oh, our great-great-great-grandfather's problems was Chat's problem and Zherka's problem, and in a way that really calms me down. I just don't believe what Pearl's saying is true. In a way that absolute horror nature calms me down a bit. In like this, I can't explain it. It's like a... Because the other way is utopian, where it's like it used to be a utopia for you to grow up with a white picket fence and, just mow the lawn and, hey, it's a fucking Mexican. What are you doing here? That's kind of utopia. But now if you go back to World War II, and were they getting piped when we were at war? Was my reincarnation cycle that of cuckery when I was getting shelled? Was my wife getting piped? Because if that's true, as dark as it is, I am liberated from the spirit of the times of today, right? I'm actually, if what Pearl's saying is true, which I don't believe it, but I want to believe it, dude. Because then I get to grab and hashoosh. You should see my stamina right now, bro. Right here, chat. Right here in your face. You know what I mean, though? Are you guys having fun? Are you enjoying the stream? Because when I turn it off and everyone says, oh, black pilled stream again, is it black pilling? It's Joker pilling, bro. I'm making it funny at least. Listen, all I'm saying is, dude, I watched Andrew Tate. He couldn't fuck bitches till he had a Bugatti. I've been smashing them since I was broke, bro. You know how confident that makes me feel? And guess what? I think that I'm the only guy who could nut on a bitch's face illegally and she still fall for me. Sorry if that ruins your day. I don't know what that means, bro. I have no idea what the fuck I'm saying.
You get married, right? Luckily, you know, in Islam, you can just go to a mosque, go to an imam, he'll marry you, boom, done. You don't got to worry about the state being involved. But most people don't get married that way. They get married through the state. And with the way the family courts are set up, with the way divorce is set up, with the way it's basically an entire industry against men, I look at it like if you're going to go ahead and you want to have a family one day, which is the nuclear family, which is the backbone of society, and you want to get married, you are taking on a tremendous amount of risk, and I don't want you to go in blind. However, if you're getting married and the state isn't involved and there's no severe consequences to you financially, then sure, go ahead and be less sexually experienced and meet a woman, because at least you're not going to be severely punished for it. But my thing is, the reason why I even gave that idea, like, hey, get with more women so that you understand them, is because I just don't want men to deal with the horrors of the family court. Now, is it the best solution? Probably not, but I think it's a pragmatic one given the world that we're in now.
Yeah.
So what? No, here's the thing. I just want to know what the evidence is. So
Here's my real question, bro. What happens? Listen, man. Is it? No, stop this shit, bro.
Dad nigga donated $5. What do you think about Haberlath and CERN in Switzerland?
You should look at the rockets they're sending up before that.
ZL donated $5. Does the Bible support reincarnation?
No. If you're a Catholic, it's more like a toll booth, a purgatory, but not really. Some Christians say it, but I use it as a joke. Now check this out. When I talk about reincarnation, I'm talking about ancestral memories. That's real, right? Or like precognition. When you have a dream of something that's going to happen in the future and then it actually happens, it's like ancestral type collective unconscious dream, right? But anyways, check this out. I ain't gonna lie to you, bro. If having a mid wifey means that I get a regular traditional marriage, how do I erase the TNA that I've already felt from this? How do I erase that? Because I don't remember it, but I know what it feels like. I know when I do this, I go, oh, what the fuck is this? Like, this is not how they're supposed to be. Like this is extra good. Or when I grab the ass, I go like, what the fuck is this? This is like, men aren't supposed to feel this. Like, why am I getting such fine ass bitches? Because there's some fucking OF hoes. But I like them because then they at least loyal to me. I manipulate the shit out these bitches and teach it online. How do you think I make this much fucking bread? But how am I supposed to go to mid? I don't want to grab this and it's not the same grab. I don't want to go down here and it's a different feeling, bro. I don't want to look at the line down the back. I only care about looks, bro. Bro, if my chick is pure as fuck, but my kids look normal, I'll beat the shit out that bitch. And the kids.
Let's go.
In a video game. I'm kidding, Eddie.
Unique Idol donated $5. Pronounce your last name in Albanian, you are teaching the people wrong. And when is the last time you seen your mom?
I have a great relationship with fam, believe it or not.
Niggers donated $5. Nigga, quit yapping, you can find a virgin, get a passport. Sounds like you just wanna fuck whores, just say that.
I want them to look like the ones I have already. How about that? And I can do one at a time. You've seen me do it. Easy. I just can't drop the beauty level, bro. I don't want to do that. I don't want to drop the beauty level. Why the fuck should I drop the beauty level when that's all I can do, bro? That's all I can do is look, bro. I can't do, bro. I only use my eyes. I don't use anything else. Like all those fucking bitches in Miami around me. To be honest, they got the genetic for kids. That's the truth. They might not be the best human beings on earth, but they do have the genes I like. Or do I want some fucking regular kids? What did Trump do, bro?
Unique donated $5. Your name is pronounced Zherka, not Zherka.
It's Zherka,
You are my neighbor
fucking idiot.
Indikov.
Listen, man. Listen. Here, the bombest chick from the Fres&Fit that I got, on the low, I'll never leak this girl. Such a sweet girl. She's like, can I eat your ass? And I was like about to slap a fucking woman for real, bro. I'm like, what the fuck? This is faggot shit. Do you know who I am? And she's like, you're Zherka. I'm like, don't ever talk stupid like that again. So I'm naked here. And bro, I'm thinking to myself, like, bro, you're the baddest chick on the Fres&Fit. Why are you asking that, bro? You're fucking crazy, man. No, it wasn't Mel. Mel's awesome. Both Mels are hot, awesome. Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Would you guys want to see me do some fucking legit polygamy, bro? Because for my channel, I think it would rock hard. No, baddest one from Fresh and Fit is this one that I didn't get. She had red hair. You remember that one? Yeah. If you can link me, DM her, say Zherka's looking for you. If you guys link, I'll make you mod for life. That one's better than any purity. That's the one that got away. Everything else, I fucking hasush. And yo, listen to me, all bitches of Miami and LA, all your box belong to us. That means after I fucking get it, I'm gonna tell my chat I got it. And I'm gonna tell them everything about your box. 7-fold layer type shit. Jill's not a 4 on looks. Bro, she's got like, what do they call it? Famous DJs hitting her up. 4s don't get that. 4 is like what you guys have. Check this out, bro. I promise you, check this out. This year, I'm going to show you guys 2 girlfriends at the same damn time. You want to see how easy I do this? 2 at the same damn time. Both are going to be, they're, you know, those types that have their looks max, but their personality's probably not going to be, they're not going to be interesting. They're going to be kind of, you know, let's be honest, bro. The better they look, the worse the conversation is. Yeah. I'll tell you this, man. We're going to US this week. And I'm legit gonna have one right here, one right here. I'm gonna grab both their heads and I'm gonna beat the shit out of them on some domestic abuse type shit. Because I don't want to be Mohammed Hijab type shit. I want to be the real Muslim.
Of, for example, having intercourse with multiple women, what benefit,
There it
like,
is.
let's say 50 or 30, what benefit are you alleging that it has on the man?
No,
What benefit? Look, bro, I'm just going to say it. 0 benefit other than the fact that all of society is jealous of you. That's the truth. It has 0 benefit. Except everyone on earth wants to be you. That's the truth. That's the truth. For years and years, I said, guys, don't do what I do, bro. There's no benefit to this. You can understand them. You don't need 100 of them. But I've been living the good life and giving you guys crumbs, bro. I secretly laugh with these bitches. I go, poor chat. They think they got a good life. And I'm literally, hadush. I'm like, I'm a monkey, bro. You know, I'm literally being a fucking, you know what I'm saying, bro? That's why I say there's 0 benefit to living like Zherka, but you'll never see Zherka going, I wonder what his life is like. You'll never see me do it. And chatters, they sit there and they go, I wonder if I could be Zherka for 1 week. Bro, if you could be me for 1 week. You know what I'm saying, bro? Bro, come on, bro. Let me put my fucking hats on, bro. As many bitches as you can type shit, bro. You think, I can't wait to meet God and say, it was end times. Yeah, it was end times. And God's going to be like, all right, okay.
So that's a fair question. Every man has different competence, right? So like one.
Like Myron, I'm sorry to say this, bro. Myron is trying to get out a logical debate against Mohammed Hijab right now when he knows he's going to lose. But if Myron just said the truth that we're all thinking, should I say it? Should I say it? Should I don't want to be disrespectful. I don't want to be that guy. We all have different preferences. But if there's an Exodia card that we all think of and nobody says it out loud. You know what I'm saying?
Zherka's vaccinated donated $5. Zherka, how to pull a super liberal bitch, she's hot but I'm a fascist, advice?
I double down on the fascism and then call her sensitive and tell her that she just doesn't get your tribe. She'll just try and understand you guys. But yo, check this out. If she likes you, she'll make an exception. Check this out. I'm going to just say it, bro. There's no logic here because strength and beauty, these are the pillars of God, bro. That's why we reward beauty, we reward strength. But check this out, bro. If Myron just says what we're all thinking, if he just turned around like this and said, okay, Mohammed Hijab, what does your wife look like? Then we get to the real part of the debate. Because the real part of the debate is not about living a virtuous life. It's a Red Pill podcast. We're asking, like, what does Myron want? And he wants baddies. What does Chad want? They want baddies. What does Zherka want? Everyone wants a bad. Donald Trump got $1 billion and he wants a baddie. You know what I mean? So I'm sorry to say it, bro. We gotta scale beauty as the highest factor when selecting a mating partner. I know I sound like an evolutionist kind of guy, but I'm telling you this, bro. Everyone who's ever attacked me on Twitter, their wife is ugly as fuck. It's no wonder they hate me. But man, is she loyal. Come on, bro. So Myron can't win this debate logically, but if we go on what God designed us for, God designed us to admire beauty, to have beautiful kids. And I'll tell you this, if these statistics about divorce are true, that means even Mohammed Hijab will go through a divorce. And if that happens in the next 10 years, you know how sad I'll be? Because I'll be like, oh, come on, he was so traditional. But we see this all the time. Traditional dudes going through fucking breakups and shit. Divorces and shit. We see this all the time. That's why, like, Myron's position is kind of like, you fucked, Chad. But are you fucked? Just buy my program, bro.
One guy might be able to hook up with 10 girls and be like, okay, you know what, I get it. Like I don't, it is what it is. But another guy, might be incompetent, might be an idiot. Everyone's, level of adaptation is different. So I'm not saying, oh, have a hard 50 and don't get married. It's like, no, if you find a girl that's worthy, that's fine. And I would argue that like our podcast.
But are they worthy? Was, like, no disrespect to Hijab, but was his wife worthy of him? He's a famous intellectual YouTuber, blah, blah, blah. Like, are they ever worthy? Like, come on, bro.
Yes, is like we're able to kind of fast line it where, remember this information hasn't been out for very long. So people are kind of learning now through us talking about it on our platform, etc. So they might not necessarily have to even hit 50 because they're learning from our mistakes. The Chinese
But what if they do get 50? What's the benefit of that? What do they get from that?
Well, hopefully, depending on the individual, they are able to identify women that are worthy versus ones that aren't.
In a sexual capacity?
Well, I'm also assuming that this person would be seeing this woman. If they're just looking to have sex, then obviously it's gonna.
What are we talking about? What about the memories? We go through life for experiences, okay? Like, what's the point of going with your wife on 4 vacations? Why not 1? You're experiencing life.
I'm making it with girls.
The fuck?
Fentanyl Floyd donated $5. How easy do you think it will be for Nick to find a virgin wife that's hot? A lot of Christian guys have to realize they aren't a millionaire and famous like Nick. Gonna be hard for them to find a virgin wife.
Stop. When you guys say, look, man, oh my gosh, should I just black pill it? Should I nuclear black pill it? I don't even know if I'm correct, but when have I ever been wrong, man? I've been right about a lot of shit. This is gonna scare the fuck out of you, but here's the nuke. They can't be good looking if they're pure. Like, if they can, name her right now. I'm sure you can do it. Go ahead, name her. You can't do shit, bitch! None of you, there's thousands of you can't do shit right now. Are you fucking stupid? Name her! You can't think of one name. There's 3 billion women. You can't think of one? Come on, bruh. It wouldn't matter because by your logic, there would be some famous ones that are pure. All right, don't name the famous one. Name one in your hometown that's pure and hot. Now let's play ball. Let's go. Name it. You can't even think of a fake name, bro. You can't even think of a fucking fake. You want to get nuked on Black Pill? You can't. And Zherka running around with e-girls. You mad at me? Get the fuck out of here, bro. You literally wasted your whole life. 25 years old, got no ass, no play. Like, come on, bro. Come on. Well, meanwhile, yo, this is every red pill guy. Even me, I did this for a while for you guys. I'd be like this. Chat, don't do what I do. Yeah. Come on, bro. It's a fucking scam. We're scamming you guys, bro. Bro, we're scamming you guys. We're literally scamming you guys, bro. Come on. And, bro, I'll say this, bro. I have a feeling Mohammed Hijab's wife did not have her. Not trying to go there. I don't think she had her V card. Sorry. I don't buy it, bro. I don't even want to know. I'm just saying it's, sorry, bro. Now I'm starting to understand the age thing in Islam. Okay, now I'm getting what they were going at. They're like, bro, if you don't want her to be a skank, she gotta be 9. She's on a fucking scooter. Ow, my ankle. Bro, here's the problem. I swear on God and everything I love, I'm not attracted to 9-year-olds. I can't do it, bro. I can't. The lowest I could do is like 17. If you put a gun to my head and said, I'll never squeeze, I'd do it because I'd be fearing for my life. See what I did there? Yo, come on, bro. You're really telling me you can think of one girl in your Facebook hometown that's hot and got her V card? Then why do you watch influencers, bro? Why don't you go DM that bird? You won't do shit, bro. You're fucking all talk.
That's a waste. But I'm
the
talking
Joker
about,
pill.
You're obviously courting this woman. You're hanging out with this woman, etc. You're seeing her.
But look, my friend had your book. I was trying to look for it myself. It's called.
Oh, nice.
I was trying to find something. And actually, I was flicking through it right before I spoke to you. And I like the statistics you have on here.
Mm-hmm.
One of them that you had on here was, for example, that a man will spend 30 hours or something like this doing speed dating online in order to just get one date, 1.46 date in the year or something like that. Now, what I'm saying is that to get 50 women, look, it's a numbers game, and I know it's a numbers game. Yeah. The feasibility, the amount of man hours that you're going to need to put in to have intercourse with 50 women that are not prostitutes, according to your statistics that you mentioned, right?
Yeah.
The amount of man hours, we're talking about, like, if he's going to use Tinder or some kind of an app, and according to these stats, he's going to need to do a lot of that, right?
What? No, that's not how it works. You could have one good summer and do it. Like, what are you talking about? All you have to do is capitalize on wins, right? This is how I used to do it, bro. All right? I would take 4 or 5 months of the years, 0 to gym, just fucking work hard. Then summer would come around, and I'd be like, woof, woof, right? Now, hold on. I would hit one and get the glow, right? Thank you for the glow, babe. And I would fly away and I'd get another one as I'm glowing. But what a lot of guys do is, and then they stop and they wait for the glow to dissipate and the girls can't sense that he just smashed. I would literally fucking just use the glow and I'd walk into the fucking club and they would sense it's like a harush pheromone shit.
Yeah.
And the question of benefit here is an important one. Obviously, from a religious standpoint, Muslims, Christians, and Jews all agree that sex shouldn't even be done outside of marriage. Now, it is still possible to marry 50 women. I mean, I'm not saying you cannot marry and divorce 50 women. It's a possibility. But I'm not necessarily saying that one should do that. Of course, we wouldn't agree that one should do that.
Yeah,
the point I'm trying to get at is that there isn't actually any good evidence that having intercourse with that many women would give you a kind of benefit in the relationship. In fact, you could argue the opposite, because if you get sex very easily, going back to the idea of virtue, then you can be less restrained in your sexual appetites. And this is something that
I'm not gonna lie, dude. If I had to smash 50 and it's just regular sessions, waste of time. Don't want to do it. But if I'm like this, just eating the shit out of them, damn, bro, that was crazy. Did we just do that? Yeah, we did, y'all. No, that was crazy, dude. You know what I'm saying, guys?
Virtue ethics is referred to as temperance. So if you're less restrained, you don't have as much restraint, for example. You don't have self-control. And if you don't have willpower and self-control in one area, you're less likely to have it in other areas. And I've read that in a book called Willpower, funny enough, by Roy Baumeister. A very fantastic book. I recommend it. But he mentioned the point that if you have willpower in one area, for example, he mentioned fasting, religious fasting as an example, Roy Baumeister. If you have willpower and discipline in one area, it's transferable to other areas.
Right. No, but that's talking about busting. When you're hitting it, you go, take a deep breath, don't bust. They nut, and you push them off, and you literally savor.
Zane donated $5.
That's
I'm
willpower.
1963 chat. Only 2 bodies because I don't care about fucking a lot of whores. If I can never find a pretty and
2
traditional
bodies?
virgin
You're
to
a
have family
fucking
with,
loser,
WTF is the point of living.
You're a fucking loser, bro. 2, I bet they're not even mid, bro. I bet they're not even mid.
Idea of getting 50 women having sex with them, which is difficult anyway, according to these stats, because just because you're dating a woman, it doesn't mean you're going to have sex with her. As you know, like for that.
What? Bro, I have never been on a date. Literally, I text them, I call them, I go, then we're gonna at least cuddle. Like, there's gonna be potential to do it, right? She's like, yeah, maybe potential. But if she goes no, I go, oh really? So I'm just paying for lobster? How would I grab that fucking lobster and smack the crabs off you on some domestic abuse type shit, bitch? In a video game. In a
Average
joke.
person, you guys might not be the average person, because you know, from a status perspective, you guys have got, you know, big channel, good money coming in. The guy's wearing a nice Rolex red face, I like it, fresh, and you're wearing a nice watch as well.
It's
you
chocolate.
Know, you guys are well put together.
Thank you, bro.
So not everyone is fresh, and not everyone's Myron Gaines.
Yeah.
And so it's not going to be easy to get sex like that. So for them to put 30 hours, 50 hours to get a date, and then after that to get like 100 of those, maybe 30, I don't know what the numbers would be, a conversion rate. 5 dates to 1 woman having sex, maybe. I don't know. Is that
also,
Myron, you know
Mohammed,
more about this?
keep in mind, right? Because people tend to criticize my, my idea that you should have sex with 50 women, but there's a bunch of other things I tell guys to have in place as well. They should make a certain amount of money, 35 years old, be in shape. They need to have a bunch of things in line so that they can be in a position. And the reason why I say this, like, so
No, if you're 35 and you're doing that much, come on, bro. The real fun is 25 years old and you're doing that much. If you can't do it by 25, you fucking... Plus, the older you get, the more you're going to want to bond. You're going to be like, I'm lonely, I'm this, I'm that. You know what I mean?
This is what it is.
35
Make 6 figures a year or more, have 6 months or a year of savings, be in shape, 50 women, and then be 35 years old. The reason why I say have these 5 things in place is because most women, right, will look at you.
Yo, one in the chat if all men want to smash a bunch of beautiful bitches and everyone's just coping. Like, everyone is just coping. Okay? Like, give me a break, dude. I can't do it, therefore I'm mad at it. Bro, if you teleport me to the 1950s, I'll be like, I want to play the game correct. But if you teleport me to 2024 and you say, hey, John Zherka, here's your non-virgin. Enjoy. I'll go, ooh, this is kind of weird. She don't even look as nice as the ones I'm used to. And she got plastered by XUC.
As a higher status, more attractive male, which will inevitably put her in her feminine, put you in your masculine, so the relationship ends up actually working, because we all know what happens when you deal with a rambunctious woman. Now, does that mean that if the person reaches 10 bodies, 20 bodies, 30, 40, and he has other things in place, oh no, sorry baby, I can't commit to you because I need to hit 50? No. And like I said before, with our podcast, we might be able to curb it where they don't need to necessarily hit that number. But I'm speaking from a general perspective for most people. And then also with as far as the book goes, with the dating stuff, this is why I'm such a big proponent of not relying on online dating. I tell people, meet girls through your friends, meet girls when you're out, meet them out in real life, use Instagram. We have multiple different ways that you need to go ahead and source women. Now, with that said, of course, if you're religious, then this might not necessarily apply to you, because you're going against your religious beliefs. But my thing is this: if you're a religious guy, right, and you can't do this, that's totally fine. The only thing I ask is I want them to make sure that they don't get married with the state. You don't need to hit this body count number if you're getting married and it's just religious strictly, and there isn't.
No, I see. Look, a lot of what you said there is very reasonable. I don't think it's wrong for a man to aspire to make a certain money, like a certain amount of money. I don't think it's wrong for them to put themselves in the. I think it's actually quite praiseworthy, frankly. You know, there's nothing wrong with that. My only issue is that the reason why I mentioned the 50 body count thing is because this is my analysis, bro, and you can tell me what you think. We're living in a time historians refer to as Pax Americana, yeah? It's a time where America is a superpower, and as a result, Western countries have not had to have wars where they themselves are in danger in the ways that they had in the past, okay? It's more like incursions or invasions.
Zherka, I stay with my girl for Christ. That's fine. I've gotten many of those messages. I supported it for a year, and then I regret supporting you guys because I got other messages from the same guys. And a lot of guys just DM me that their bitch is cheated. And if you have it under control, I support you. If you don't, I don't want her to win, bro. I don't want her to win. I don't like demons winning. I believe that we have to get one over the demons for sure.
Or whatever it may be. As a result, we in the West are living in a state of relative ease and comfort. Arthur Schopenhauer,
Arthur Schopenhauer, what?
Famous philosopher, he said that human beings or mankind vacillates between extreme boredom and extreme fear. Okay, I think now we're living in an age of extreme boredom because we're not fearing that someone's going to kill us. Yeah, in a war context. As a result, we are missing what most cultures in the past referred to as rites of passage for men. This is where the masculinity crisis comes in. Because before, a man could prove that he is a man by stepping on the battlefield. Now, that kind of opportunity is no longer afforded to us on the same kind of level. And as a result, we have invented rites of passage for men so that they can feel like they have gone through a certain process and now they're men. And what I see with the Red Pill movement...
Bro, here's how you know you're a real man. You know you're a real man if a woman has cried begging for you to not put a rubber on. Then you know you're a real man. If you've had many bitches crying because they want your DNA and you go like this, I refuse to conform. I want to put it on. I don't want kids with you. You are not good looking enough. And I'm still gonna hit it tonight. And you're still gonna let me hit it. You know why? You don't have a choice. I'm kidding. No real man's a rapist. But can a real man be a rapist? Debatable, because if you were my enemy and I conquered you, you're my enemy. I don't want to kill you. I'm going to spare you by raping you. Right? Because I'm all merciful. Psych, I'll kill you as I rape you, bitch. I'm kidding. Look, bro, I want to do a serious stream of Mohammed Hijab, and then I realized that's not what people come here for, bro. They come here for the fucking zwarps, right? You guys are here for the zwarp energy.
That they've invented arbitrary and ad hoc rites of passage, which actually feed more into hedonistic liberal thinking than anything else, which there's scanty to no evidence that will improve them as an individual, virtuously or otherwise. The like of which we've just mentioned, the 50 body count thing, which I know comes from the Rational Male, because that was the first place I read it. I don't know if you got it from there as well.
He didn't necessarily give a hard number.
A real man won't let a woman manipulate. Bro, if a woman's not manipulating you, she's the most boring woman on earth. That's like you pick the baby dragon. She goes, meow, meow. And it's like, what? You're afraid to play with the real ones? Right? Go play fucking no prenup game with the real one, bro. Go play the real game, you fucking pussy. We play on heroic and legendary, you fucking faggot. You fucking pick the easiest. I'm a shy dragon. No, bro. You gotta pick the one that'll fucking kill and knife you. Those are the dragons you gotta tame.
And he just calls it play theory.
Yeah, I mean, what I'm saying to you is, in the time it would take you...
Sneeko is live by. I don't think anyone's coming with you, bro. Like, respectfully, I don't think anyone is coming with you, buddy. All right? There's not one chatter that's hopping, switching tabs. My dude, get the fuck out.
Non-prostitutes that are 50 in number that you can have sex with in the West. You can spend making money for yourself. You can spend working on yourself. You can spend improving your bravery, improving your proficiency, your strength. Because the thing is, I feel like there's an underlying assumption with the Red Pill movement, yeah? And the assumption almost is that we should live our lives to make ourselves most marketable for women. And I feel like that
that's not true,
irony.
That's not
what
true.
Do you
That's
say?
not what we
at all.
That's no. So I've always said
Go on.
you gotta, and I talk about that in the book too, is I want the guy to be the best version of himself, and then the women are a byproduct of it. And like I'm very explicit about that in the book, that like, hey, I don't want guys running around chasing women, spending a bunch of time and money and resources on women that don't necessarily want them, because what'll end up happening is what you mentioned before. He'll be looked at as a utility. So I want the guy to develop these characteristics of obviously sticking to his word, having these masculine traits, being a leader, being dominant, being assertive, going out there and conquering the world and becoming successful, becoming a catch. Then
Yeah, you're only a real man is if you can go live and say to a girl that you'll rape her and she laughs and you get her phone number after. That's what a real man is. That's a real man spits in the face of all of his sponsorships to tell the whole world, you want to be me. You want to be Zherka. I don't want to be you. All right, that's what that's when their legs are up and they go, oh my God, this guy will say anything, bro. He's so hot. And it's like, I'm only saying it because they won't. Because the minute they say it, I won't. And I will say it because I won't conform. Yeah, rationalize that psychopathy.
And the women are a byproduct, because whenever guys go ahead and chase women, a lot of problems arise. So I tell guys, focus on yourself first, and then the pursuit of women can come after. That's why I said be at least 35 years old. So
okay, it's good that you cleared that up.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's fantastic. So now my question is,
you're stuck in your high school dark humor phase, John. Dude, your name is Earth Tiger. You're stuck in your fucking faggot parents' basement playing fucking video games.
if they're focusing on themselves,
Play Magic
why
the
are they
Gathering.
doing it? Are they doing it? Is there a purpose in life, which is an objective purpose in life that they are striving
Weirdo.
towards? Or are they just doing it for another reason? So what's the reason that they're doing all these
That's a
things?
fantastic.
Demi Sucks is not an attractive human being. How many times do I gotta say this, bro? Like, she is just such a catfish. Just look closer.
Question. So, right, if I give you a gun, right, you can either choose to use it as a tool to hunt, to eat, or you can use it to commit.
And bro, I don't smash the best ones. For example, I'll never put my hands on an anorexic woman that she was loving it, but Darla Claire is an L, and the only time you'll ever see me around chicks is if they're fat, never skinny again.
Crimes, right? But I'm giving you the tool, and then it's up to you how you want to use it. That's exactly what this knowledge is. Some guys are going to use it to find their wife, be able to, filter out the women that are worthy versus the women that aren't worthy, and they're able to use this skill set to their advantage for building a nuclear family. Other guys are going to use it for more hedonistic things that you disagree with, which I see your perspective on that. But my thing is, I want to at least equip them with the tools so that they can decide what they want to do with their life. Because my fear is I don't want them to get in a situation where the woman is dictating everything because the guy's aloof and not aware of what's going on in night.
And I think that aspect of it is probably where you excel the best and most, because that aspect of it appeals to something deep within every single man, which is the ambitious drive to become better. And so long as these things are very important, that we're clarifying that we're not doing this because of any woman. And I'm not sure if you've come across these archetypes, the alpha male, the sigma male, and the beta male archetypes. You've seen them online and the differences between them. You see the sigma male archetype usually has what you're talking about. He doesn't really care about what the woman is doing or saying or thinking.
For sure.
Whereas the alpha male It's more he is a status figure, and
They're taking this serious.
as a result, women are coming towards him and so on. So this here, what I'm trying to advocate is more in line with that sigma male archetype rather than the alpha male or beta male.
Dude, man, intellectuals are so stupid. They don't know that planetary forces are spirits that push through us. This is archetypal phenomena. And Mars, god of war, or Jupiter, that would be sigma versus alpha. But we use weird terms now that we used to use correct terms, bro. Now we use internet memes.
Archetype.
So I will.
But what I wanted to add as well is that
please.
the thing with red pill, bro, is there's a few elusive but important things in the manual of red pill, which I think you need to be aware of. So, for example, if you look at Rollo Tomasi's book, he mentions that this is not an ideology, but this is a praxology. I don't know if you've come across this terminology, yeah?
Yeah.
And then he proceeds in the end of his book to writing down what he talks about as 8 laws, or I think 12 iron laws.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, I know they're suggestive. They're not prescriptive from one angle. They're not obligatory. You don't have to do them. The 50 rule, the vasectomy that he talks about, all those kind of things, which are arbitrary in my opinion, and there's scanty evidence for their benefit, like I said before, right? But the vasectomy, the lack of family.
I do feel bad for Rollo because he didn't say you should get a vasectomy. He said statistically this increases your bank account to the highest potential. It's like robbing a bank. You shouldn't rob a bank, but if you're gonna do it, break the fucking window, break the ATM, blah blah blah. So he's just saying, like, yeah, he got kind of chopped up for that.
You don't get married, these kinds of things that he talks about. Don't get married, and the iron laws and how many people you have to have sex with and all that kind of thing.
How many,
He
Chad?
does advocate for marriage. He just doesn't advocate with how we do it today, with the state
It's who many, bro. They gotta look good.
being involved. That's what
yeah.
he. Yeah. So
I totally sympathize with that viewpoint, especially with the woman taking half of your wealth. We would consider that to be a grand injustice anyway. Yeah. And a lot of the things about how a woman can withhold the children, and that's where I agree with Red Pill. That's totally where I agree with them. I think that's where the strongest arguments lie.
Yeah.
However, I'm going back to the point that there's something quite elusive about this.
Where does he
situation
call
because
Jesus weak?
when something becomes ideological, when does something become ideological? It becomes ideological when it becomes what we call teleological, when it becomes prescriptive to some extent. And something can become prescriptive to some extent, even if someone's making suggestions and giving advice. I feel like Rollo Tomasi doesn't understand this point, because I saw his discussion with you and Sneeko and Destiny. And although I don't like the latter person I just mentioned, Destiny there, I don't like him.
In my experience, wait, what?
I feel like he's a weasel of a man. I don't think he's even a man. I actually don't think he's a man, let alone a high value man. He's not even a man. Him, Ben Shapiro, and all these other people that were mentioned in that discussion, they're not even men. They don't even meet the threshold of men. But putting that to the side, what I'm saying is that the red pill ideology is prescriptive, and therefore it meets the threshold of ideological. And so the Quran asks a question. Do they have partners with God that have legislated that which he has not permitted? When someone tells me to do something or not to do something, the question is from what greater authority you're coming with this information. And people like Rollo Tomasi, with all due respect to him, because he's a clever guy and he's respectable, and I've seen his book and some of the stuff I totally agree with him on it. But what authority do you have to give me iron laws or any kind of laws? Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like,
if you want,
I showed a picture of him,
you guys,
some of the guys, some of the MMA fighters, I don't mention who they are,
together.
him with his hat and his ponytail and this kind of thing. And they looked at it and they said, this is a guy who's written a book, tell me what you think. The first thing they said to it is, this is not the guy that's going to tell me how to be a man.
Well,
with all due respect to him.
No. I mean, if you want, I can absolutely facilitate you guys having a discussion. I think it'd be a great discussion. But I can't really speak to his views. I mean, me and him agree on a lot of things. I don't have the, I don't have the 9 iron rules like he does. But I'd be happy to, facilitate that discussion if you want to talk about that.
I mean,
yeah,
debate-wise, it'd be great.
Mind, I'm open to speak to anybody. But the point I'm making to you is, going back to the point, like we in the West, we have these rites of passage that we think we have to go through in order to be men. But the truth is, the rites of passage that you have to go through in order to be men is increasing and bettering all those virtues which are seen by cross-culturally, cross-religions, Christians, Muslims, Jews, everyone can agree, all those things are good things. Like, for example, being brave, temperance, for example, having magnanimity, for example, having forgiveness, for example, being loving, for example, not being foolhardy, for example, not being cowardly, for example, and so on and so forth. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So if someone works on those things, increases their knowledge, and from our perspective as Muslims, has faith, that's when they attain a high value man status. That's what it is. So the high value man for us is the virtuous man. If the person cannot reach, if it's a coward, it doesn't matter how much money he is. I don't care if Bezos or Musk. If Musk one day is walking in the street, Elon Musk, and he's with his kid, or he's with his wife, yeah, and someone slaps his wife or shouts at his wife or spits on his wife, and he cannot intervene and defend in a proper manner, or at least tries to defend her, I don't care how much money he's got, how many platforms he owns, how many companies he's got. He doesn't even meet the threshold of man anymore. He's not even a man anymore, let alone high value man. It doesn't matter how much money you've got.
Well,
that's on an intrinsic level.
Okay.
Yes, he's always going to have women that are going to want him, but they're not going to want him for him. They're going to want him for what he has. He is a walking ATM machine. He would be. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So
Yeah.
that's where I feel like the emphasis should be also.
So here's the thing. So and I don't blame you for this. A lot of people don't know this stuff, but we do daytime shows, right? Similar to this one that we're doing right now, where obviously you're a special guest, so we're not doing it today. But on Mondays we talk about how to earn money, right? And obviously becoming successful, earning money, you have to have certain characteristics of being disciplined, exercising temperance, being dedicated, etc., and putting off hedonism a lot of times to become successful. On Wednesdays we talk about how to properly date and vet women, and then on Fridays we answer questions. We tell guys that they need to get in shape, etc. So unfortunately, right, and this is kind of one of the things, me being very open here about our podcast, our daytime shows don't get as much views and clips and virality because
I see your point.
You see what I'm saying? Like, no one clips when I yell at men and tell them to stop being pussies. No one clips when I tell them to, honor your guys near you and have a good circle of men and be good to those men. They never clip that stuff because no one, that's not exciting. They want to see us dunk on random bimbos on after hours, and that's where people go.
That's
go
the
viral.
issue, bro.
But they never get to see the other side where we talk about. I've been very adamant about loyalty. I mean, one of the biggest criticisms I get is people say, "Oh, you're loyal to a fault. You support, people all the time." Like, they gave me so much criticism for standing by Andrew when he was going through that bullshit with the thing. But to me, it's second nature because that's just a masculine trait where if you're my friend, I don't give a fuck what anyone says about you. I know that you're innocent, and I'm going to defend you regardless of whether it's popular or not. So, but obviously, these things that we talk about never get highlighted, unfortunately. What get highlighted is us dunking on bimbos, and they assume that that's all we talk about. But we do really focus on trying to get guys to self-improve and have these virtuous traits that you're talking about, not being a coward, sticking to your word, not being a backbiter, standing by your friends when they need you. Because that is something that I agree with you that is lost in the West in general. It's something that's lost in Gen Z especially, where for them, it's all about making content and going viral, and, there's no honor almost in today's day and age,
That's
right?
it, yeah.
So I agree with you on that. It's just that, unfortunately, that doesn't get pushed in the algorithm as much. They always clip our other stuff. Our more degenerative content gets clipped, which is unfortunate.
Yeah, that is the truth. That is the truth. I can see what you're saying.
Sorry, Fresh, you were trying to say something, right?
Nah, I get it because he didn't understand what we do outside of the dating show.
I mean, and I don't knock them. Like,
we're coming from a secular standpoint, of course. It's not going to be religious.
Yeah,
It's very secular, worldly. So our point of view, our actual steps are going to be more like, I want to say,
and actually, funny point. Like, people that are religious, I'll refer them to people that are more religious.
Yeah.
Like, I've had Muslim guys ask me, like, hey, how do I go about this? And I'm like, you know what, dude,
we're not
you're
the ones
religious.
to tell you.
Go to someone like Mohammed Hijab. He'll advise you on how to deal with dating in the modern day marketplace based on your religion. Because what I'm telling you is secular advice, and it's not going to align with what you're supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
So
Even Christians, like, they call into the show.
Well, here's one piece of advice I'd give you, Myron, and forgive me if this comes across as a bit too forthright. Yeah. Recently, I've seen some clips where some Islamophobic guests have been attacking the religion, and I know what your style is. I understand it. Your style is to let people speak. You believe in free speech and all this kind of thing. I fully understand. But there comes a time where, okay, you need to exhibit some of those virtues that we're talking about, in the sense that, okay, if they're talking about your religion, because you're a Muslim, right?
Yeah.
Like Fresh in the beginning, even though he
yes.
did try his best, and I respect him for that. He was, when I was speaking about the Bible and Christianity, he wanted to push back. He did want to push back, and he was thinking, and he was really being inquisitive and so on. I would want to see a bit more of that, brother. You know what I'm trying to say? If people are attacking Islam, because let me tell you something, we need to have as much an emotional investment in the principles that we hold to be true as we do with issues to do with gender and so on. Like, if, for example, I've seen you get mad a few times with some woman in your studio that was, I don't know, saying certain things, and then she left, and you got mad at her. You got vexed. Now, let me tell you something. Like, the companions of the Prophet Muhammad, when things would be said about him, attacks, slurs, and so on, they would get vexed, because they have an emotional attachment to religion. And so, Malcolm X famously said, a man that, stands for nothing will fall for anything. And so I feel like it's not a problem if you want to bring Tommy Robinson. I've seen him on your show before, or anybody else. But I feel like there needs to be pushback when they come with nonsense about the religion. So, and if not, like, okay, you might say, well, I don't have the knowledge for that. Mm-hmm. But say for example, Tommy Robinson, you can call him out and say, so how comes you haven't debated Mohammed Hijab or somebody else who's also offered you that in the past? And you haven't debated, why are you coming and speaking about it with me, for example? But so long as there is some kind of a reaction that the Muslim audience can say, okay, this guy, he's one of us, and yes, he has the same emotional investments as we do. Just like Fresh, in the beginning, you can see he has an emotional investment to Christianity. He even brought out the pendant. Now, as we're talking, I don't know if you had it in.
Well, I had some verses here for you as well. And you should debate Sam Shuman as well. That'll be a good debate.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah, I've debated David Wood in 2018. It was.
Oh, he's gonna run.
One of the most monumental debates, I think, Christian-Muslim debates in the last century. Potentially the most, and it's been watched like tens of millions of
times.
times.
Why is he deflecting?
different languages. So if someone wants to see a debate between me and a Christian, that's the most monumental one.
But I get
me versus David.
What a slimy fucking weasel of a man. Talking about being a real man, huh? What the fuck was that? Bro, this is their champion? Get the fuck out of here. Let's watch that again.
David Wood in 2018.
No
Let's consider
way. We didn't ask about
Mohammed Hijab
Wood.
or somebody else who's also offered you that in the past.
Oh, he's
And you
so
why you come and speak
slimy.
about it with me, for example? But so long as there is some kind of a reaction that the Muslim audience can say, okay, this guy, he's one of us, and yes, he has the same emotional investments as we do. Just like Fresh in the beginning, you can see he has an emotional investment to Christianity. He even brought out the pendant. Now, as we're talking, I don't know if you had it in.
Well, I have some verses here for you as well. And you should debate Sam Shaman as well. That'll be a good debate. You know, I think so.
Okay, I guess.
Yeah, I've debated David Wood in 2018. It was one of the most monumental debates, I think, Christian-Muslim debates in the last century. Potentially the most, you know? And it's been watched like tens of millions of times across different languages. So if someone wants to see a debate between me and a Christian, that's the most monumental one.
But I
me versus David
get
Wood.
Myron's standpoint as well, but I get what you're saying too. But he just like to guest speak because for our show, even you yourself, like we let you talk the whole time because you're the guest, you know. But
yeah, so I'll address that because obviously people gave me some criticism for that. So and I know you mentioned if you stand for nothing, you fall for anything. For me, I stand for free speech. That's the most important thing to me, right? And one thing that I'm really big on is, even if I disagree with you, I will divorce my emotions from what you say to let you say your piece, because I think it's very important that people are able to say what they want to say uninterrupted and sometimes without pushback. Now, and I'll explain what I mean by not giving pushback sometimes. On that show, because people tend to forget context, right? One of the girls on the panel asked Laura, hey, you're banned all over social media. Why? Then she went into her views on Islam, why she was banned, etc. Though I don't agree with it, and I also don't agree with a bunch of her opinions, right, on foreign policy, especially with Israel, etc. I respect the fact that she's a guest, she's answering a question from another member on the panel, and though I don't agree with her, I'm going to let her answer that question. And, you know, to go ahead and try to have a debate with her about Islam and religion and everything else like that in the middle of a podcast where we have 9 other women at the table and we have 30,000 people watching, it would be counterproductive to the show.
Yeah, but do you employ the same? Do you employ the same exact attitude when it comes to people that are opposing you on your gender issue discussions? Like, for example, like I said, there are clips of you when you're speaking to those, I don't know what they are, prostitutes, escorts, what they are.
Yeah.
Sorry to say, no disrespect to them, because now sex work has become a thing.
Yeah.
So are they sex
No,
workers?
no.
Those guests that you have. But basically, one of those episodes, you got mad. We saw you getting mad because she was saying things that were
Which
triggering
one?
you. And my point is that, look, it's
Which
not
one,
a problem,
though? Which
even
one
if
if
you
I
do have
got-
a guest.
but
Which one was I getting
keep in
mad at?
mind
Which one?
that's hours of
I
content.
can't remember.
of them talking to us.
But you got
saying
mad at
dumb
one and
stuff.
you kicked her out, right? You
Yeah,
kicked
but
somebody out.
It's built up though. It's not just like randomly.
Yeah, so normally when I kick a girl out, again, this is the negative side of clips. When you see me tell a girl, get the fuck up out of here, that's typically after 2 hours of her hurting the
Ruining
part of
the
the show,
podcast,
being annoying, over speaking, interrupting the other guests on the show. I really try to exercise a lot of
Temperance.
patience when women are misbehaving on the podcast and being difficult, right? And when you see me blow up and tell them, get the hell out of here, that's typically been the culmination of multiple hours of them being annoying. And the audience knows that's watching, but unfortunately it gets clipped and they make it look like, oh, this guy just kicked her out and went crazy because she disagreed with him. And I even say it before I do the show. I will never kick you out for disagreeing with me. I will only kick you out
Mario,
for
let me ask you a
part of the
question.
show.
If someone came on your show and started talking about, have you got kids?
No.
Right, if someone starts talking about your mum, yeah, and then like, sorry to say, went hard with your mum. So your mum is this and this and this, and so I'm not even going to mention anything, yeah.
Yeah.
But if they started doing that, and they're a guest on the show, how would you react? Would you let them say whatever they want?
Well, I mean, I don't think that I don't know if that's that analogy kind of aligns with what we're talking about.
But it's
Because
a free speech thing, isn't it? So like,
Yeah,
in a
I
sense,
mean-
you could argue, well, this is a free speech situation, you know. Let them say whatever you want. If they know her personally, or if, let's say she's a public figure, or they know her personally, and they start attacking her, yeah, would you accept that, or would you challenge that?
people do it all the time. They say, "Oh, your mom doesn't, who raised you? Your mom." People have made insults about my mom all the time. It is what it is. I think the protection of free speech overrides my personal feelings towards that
So
individual.
you would have that. You do that if someone attack. Because here's the thing, we have this goes
God,
back to
bro.
virtue then, because free
Well, by this logic, you got to respond to every comment that's a yo mama joke because you want to be a real fat man. Like, shut the fuck up.
speech means you can also speak. Of course, that's what it means.
Of course.
So there's no contradiction in free speech if someone says something that you disagree with, that you challenge them, or that you defer them. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So, and by the way, just on that point,
Debate
free speech is not a
Sam
holy cow. Like, free speech is not God. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Because now people speak about free
I understand
speech.
that, but Mohammed, you missed
Yeah.
the point. When she gave that answer, that was in response to another girl on the panel. So why am I going to push back when she's saying why she got banned? Does that make sense? Like, She said, "Oh, I
I
got
didn't
banned
watch that.
because-"
To be honest, I didn't watch that. I should watch
And
the
that's the
clip.
problem
Don't
because people
bring
just
it
see the
up.
clips and they don't see the context. They
Yeah.
think,
Yeah,
oh,
you're telling me the
you just
context.
looked at what
Yeah,
she
I
talked
don't know.
about Islam.
But here's what I
She
would
was
say,
simply
generally
answering a
speaking, bro.
question.
Like,
She was just answering a question from one of the panelists. That's how that clip even came about, but no one ever puts the context in there. So,
do you understand where I'm coming from? That okay, free speech doesn't preclude that you can also respond in kind with aggression and emotion. Like for example, like I said before, if your parents, either or both of them, were public figures, and they were being attacked or besmirched online, yeah, then you can respond to that. If you are being besmirched, so someone comes and says to you, "Listen, you're a scumbag, this, that, whatever," and defaming you and whatever, and you respond in kind. I'm sure you've probably done your fair share of refutations and repudiations in the past. So what I'm trying to say is that we as Muslims, yeah, like we, in terms of how we consider our holy prophet, like we have red lines. Obviously, Andrew Tate has spoken about this at length when he said that when he came into Islam, one of the things that attracted him to Islam was the boundaries, the red lines that Islam put. So for us as Muslims, bro, there's wars that have started in Islamic history as a result of things that were said and done, which were deemed to be disrespectful. Okay, so these are every man. One of the things that you'd put as like the virtues is that every man has to have consequences in it.
Just say you're a bitch, bro. You can't words hurt you that bad, bro. Why is this guy acting like he'll respond to every fucking hate comment online? Bro, if it's a stupid, mentally ill whore on a podcast saying, your mom didn't raise you right, what are you going to get up in Mohammed Hijab? Are you going to get up and be like, I can't take this, we got to go to war because I'm trying to adhere to my masculine... Shut up. Shut the fuck up with this, bro. Bro, you want to hear what's masculine is doing what the fuck you want to do, and you can't even debate Sam Shaman, bro.
And if they think it's okay to come speak to someone like Myron Gaines, who has clout and he has status in the community, who's part of the men's activism movement, and go for his religion effectively in front of him, and that he's not really going to care about or something like that, that actually deprecates your character in a certain way. Because then if they speak about your religion today, tomorrow they're going to speak about your mum. And after tomorrow, they're going to speak about your daughter. Do you get it?
I disagree.
So what I'm trying to say
again,
is,
context is important. I disagree.
yeah, I feel like
strongly disagree with
you
that.
know, I feel like there is something to be done in this regard, in it. But it's up to you. Obviously, this is your platform.
Honestly, how many of you think this guy would go to war with a Fres&Fit hoe that he won't get on the podcast with these hoes? But would he go to war if they said Mohammed Hijab's mom didn't raise him right and blah, blah, blah? Would he do anything? What the fuck? That's like playing a toddler's game, bro. Like, give me a break, bro. You wouldn't do it. Stop lying, bro.
Your thing. But these are just my 2 cents on this issue.
Well, I understand your 2 cents, but again, context matters. If someone asks her a question and she responds as to why she was banned on social media,
All I'm thinking about is me and my 4 doormen working at a nightclub. We're staying at the Ropes, and a dude's like, fuck you, mom, fuck you. I could buy this club. And we're just standing there like this. All night. And now I'm hearing Mohammed Hijab saying, go to war. Go to war. This is fucking retard, bro. This is a fucking retard. Especially hoes. He's talking about hoes, bro. Like, I've thrown drinks on hoes. I've done all sorts of shit. But I couldn't imagine if there's no clout, like no cameras, if it's just like me at the Ropes, I can't imagine me unclipping the ropes and like fucking pissing away my job because what? Some fucking Fres&Fit hoe want to get... this guy's such a phony, bro. One in the chat of Mohammed Hijab is such a phony. Like, he keeps... Bro, I just close your eyes and imagine him and a hoe saying, your mom didn't raise you right. He would not go to war. He knows better than that. He'd just be like, this is a fucking stupid hoe. He's like a fucking retard, bro. Also, he said that is it true? He said there's a clip on Twitter where he said it's not weird to marry a 9-year-old. It's just the spirit of the times that makes it weird. What the fuck? What? You know, the guys who hate on me and want, you know how I call myself a pedo for jokes? Guys who hate on me want to like run with it like they're hurting my feelings. So they comment like, Zherka, you're a pedo. And I always open the profile picture and it's some fucking Muslim guy. He's like, it never hurts because it's always some Muslim dude. And I'm like, I wish I could take you guys around the world to meet Muslims from any nation and you guys would love them. You'd think they're funny, they're great. But online Muslims are so cringe. There's like not even one of them that represents them good. right? They're so fucking cringe. The online ones are like, I would go to war with an OnlyFans girl if she said my mom didn't raise me right, Myron. That's how much of a man I am. I'm too afraid to talk about to Sam Shaman or go on a Fresh and Fit podcast. Bro, stop, bro. He has redeemable qualities, but then when he starts being the dad, it's so cringe, bro. You're not the dad, bro. You're not. And your wife better be hot as. His wife better be smoking, bro. Because a guy this cocky, you cannot be this cocky. Bro, I don't even think Trump can be that cocky for when he talks about wife. Because, you know, she's pretty, but not that great. Right? But then he could be cocky about everything else he's done. But, bro, this guy acts like he's got the life. Bro, you don't got the life. You're on a fucking couch looking like a South Park character. That's the truth. Okay? I'm sorry to say it, but if you're a millionaire and you're not relatively fit, what the fuck are you doing all day? Like, you know how much time these influencers have? Give me a break, man.
Yeah. Then what is there to debate? Like she's saying, these are my views. This is what got me banned. Okay. And then we just move on because, again, that episode was not designed to have a religious debate and go back and forth. Me and Laura have already talked, offline of our differences of opinion when it comes to American foreign policy, Islam, etc. And I tell her, I don't agree with you. But
Look, bro, here's how consistent I am. If Mohammed Hijab was brave enough to go on the Fresh and Fit podcast and a woman says, your mama didn't raise you right, Mohammed Hijab, and he got up and started dangling, beating the shit out that bitch, I would be so consistent. I'd go live and I'd be like, I was wrong. Okay? He's the real deal. But I know how phony this guy is. I've seen women yell and spit in his face at Speaker's Corner, and he did fuck all about it. He did nothing, dude. So it's like, and there's people in Speaker's Corner who would beat up a woman. Like, there's real Muslims out there. But this guy who his daddy is prophet, his daddy is money, bro. He would not, he's saying Myron has to go to war with these OnlyFans girls, but he won't even do it at a park where it's like some 40-year-old liberal woman.
I don't want to flog it that horse. I think we both understand each other's perspective now. I don't want to flog it that horse. Yeah. Like I said before, if so long as you understand where I'm coming from.
No, I completely understand. And if we,
I don't even know why Myron doesn't just say, if you were in my shoes, would you said you'd go to war if someone talks about your mom. If an OnlyFans girl said you weren't raised right, would you pull out the sword? Or what would you do? Right? What the fuck would he do? W Mike's boys, bro. I love these guys. These guys are just fucking toxic, though. Hey, Jesus gang in the chat.
If she made comments like that, right, and we were having a different type of show, and there weren't 9 other girls on the panel.
Yo, chill, Mike. Check this out. This Mohammed Hijab character said to Myron, if an OnlyFans broad you've never met, doesn't know who your mom is, made fun of your mom and said, your mom didn't raise you right, as a man, you have to go to war. And he's saying Myron is not a man because Myron's not beating the shit out this bitch on camera, an ex-police officer. This is the fucking, like, he has to go to this position where he's the most noble, but it's always the fakest position out there, right? And I've never listened to Mohammed Hijab once for more than 20 minutes and seen him, whoa, he's been good faith for 20 minutes. It always turns into this fake, whatever this character he plays is, that it's like, I've got all the answers and I would beat the shit out of the woman and blah, blah, blah.
And didn't ask her personally for her opinion, because that's what she asked was, tell me why you got kicked off. And she gave her reason why. I can't really argue with her about why she got kicked off. Like, that's not, does that make sense? So, like, to me, I was like, why?
I understand. I totally understand what you're saying. But someone can do that in an underhanded manner. Like, for example, the same analogy can be applied back to the whole mother thing. Someone can say, well,
you guys want to watch the whole thing?
Your mother. But once again, if someone brings it up, it's a disrespect, effectively, bro. Like, so.
Yeah, it's happened to you at Speaker's Corner and you didn't do anything. You don't act like there's not hours of footage of this shit. Get the fuck out of here.
Anything that could be considered to be a disrespect. Like, famously Khabib, when he was with Conor, and Conor tried to underhandedly disrespect Khabib by putting like drink on his table and stuff like that. He responded in kind. He wasn't having it. And then after, when Conor said, it was all business, he didn't accept that, because there's a degree of seriousness that you need to exhibit on issues that are serious. you know what I'm trying to say? So, because otherwise you'll be seen as capricious and frivolous as an individual. Like, we don't want to be seen. Yeah, we can all have fun. I'm a joker as well. I like to have fun and joke and have a good time. Do you get what I'm trying to say? But there's a time to have fun and there's a time to get serious. And so, I just feel like when it comes to religion and family, faith and family in particular, these two.
It's a position we all share, except when you're like literally put in the spot. You don't go to jail for an OnlyFans girl who said your mom didn't raise you right. You would be stupid to piss away your life for some unstable whore. Like, you wouldn't do it, Mohammed Hijab. Stop lying.
Two things are always going to be red lines for any man and should be always red lines for any man. That's why even the Quran instructs us not to attack religions of other people and mock them. Yeah, we can disagree. We could talk about the corruption of the Bible, and someone could say, well, the Quran is corrupted, and someone could say this. But to mock another religion now. So if I were to come and Fresh is a very polite guy, if I try to attack him and say, this and that and try to mock him, that would be something that Islam doesn't allow. And otherwise, shouldn't be allowed in the sense that a man shouldn't allow it for another man. Now, obviously, I'm not saying anything about laws. I'm not making a political argument here. I'm not saying, oh, therefore, we should ban this or we should ban that. I'm just making the point that a man has to have his boundaries.
Can I just say one thing?
Oh, go ahead.
I understand what you're saying. That's your opinion about the show and Myron's take. Or I would say this about the show. Our guests, we respect totally.
That's got to be the biggest snake move I've ever seen. Influencers are so smart too. They'll be like, it's all about family. And everyone in chat's like, yeah. But bro, listen to what he's lying about, bro. He's a liar.
Unique Idol donated $5. Hey Zherka, please tell us honest because we are your
I'm
fans.
broke. I'm broke.
Are you a millionaire for real?
Donate.
And why don't you do more IRL? You are Albanian, bro. You got so much more potential. You build for Earl streams. Greetings from Yakov.
Send more.
Whatever they say, as a guest, for example, you talk for a long time. I mean, listen, I want to chime in as well, but say, you know what? You're the guest, let you speak. The point is, with the show, me and Myron, whatever guest comes on the show, their opinions, their actual, I want to say, mindset, or for example, their ideologies, is on them. They talk, people know our opinion, our stance on things, and look, people know he's Muslim, and he does his thing. It's more like, you know what, she's a guest, she can talk. Pretty much.
Yeah, especially in response to someone's question, because the Islamic community tried to come at me for that, and I was like, okay, well, they don't know the context that she was answering a question, and that's why it is. But, it is what it is.
But also, it might be that you didn't know that this is how you should react, because actually, Islamically speaking, you've got to respond to that. Like, there's an ayah in the Quran, it says, وَإِذَا رَأَيْتْ آيَاتِ اللَّهِ يكفر بها ويستهزأ بها فلا تقعدوا معهم حتى يخوضوا في حديث غيره إنكم إذا مثلهم. There's a verse that said if people attack the religion and the ayat and the verses of God and you see them mocking it, don't sit with them. People who basically say that, you don't sit with them until they speak about something else. Otherwise, you'll be just like them.
No, I see, and that's where me and you disagree, because I'm okay with platforming people that disagree with me. I'm okay with platforming someone like yourself who's a devout Muslim. I'm okay with platforming someone that you disagree with, like a Zionist. I platform people even if I don't agree with their takes, and I understand from a religious perspective that can be seen as haram, but I'm not a religious guy, and my thing is I think it's very important to be able to platform and bring people on with
Mohammed Hijab literally lives in a nation that doesn't agree with his prophet. Like, he's a walking contradiction, bro. If I was the self-righteous Muslim, I would just leave the UK. Like, fuck this, bro. This doesn't make sense. The law has to be Muslim. We need Sharia law. But he goes and sits and plots in a fucking land that's disrespected his people for centuries and for millennia, the same people, and he just sits there soft. I don't want to leave. Myron, I know how to be a real man. Like, shut up, bro. You're literally on a couch.
differing views, right? Even
I'm not against you platforming them. I'm just saying the response to how you platform them. Like, you can platform them, but respond to certain things they say about Islam, religion.
And it looks like the couches we used to rape when we were teens.
Prophets, if someone attacked Jesus, like someone came on and attacked Jesus Christ, the same thing can be said. I would say that shouldn't be acceptable. Yeah.
Lil God donated $5. It's the Life Path 11 Pisces vocalist from Vancouver. How much can I donate for a reaction to one of my songs or music videos?
I don't even want money, bro. I can't stand that shit.
I would respond to them. If someone came and said Jesus is this and Jesus is that, I would get vexed on that basis. I would have to respond on that basis. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So yeah. I'm not saying they don't platform them. You can platform who you like.
All right, so I'll wait for the debate between you and Sam Shuman. When's it happening?
I don't know. I never thought a man with that kind of level was someone that should be on my radar because I don't know how many even house subscribers he's got. He's unqualified, untrained. I beat his best friend who was much more qualified and trained than him. So I don't know. You just mentioned his name to me. No one really proposed. I don't even think he called me. I don't even know.
Okay.
I was looking to debate Tommy Robinson. You know,
Fucking phony, dude. Yikes, bro. Fresh is W, bro. I love Fresh.
All right, so I'll wait for the debate between you and Sam Shaman. When's it happening?
I don't know. I never thought a man with that kind of level was someone that should be on my radar because I don't know how many even house subscribers he's got. He's unqualified, untrained. I beat his best friend.
What? He literally speaks your language, dude. He speaks fluent Arabic. I'm sure you want to talk to him.
Who was much more qualified and trained than him. So I don't know. You just mentioned his name to me. No one really proposed. I don't even think he called me. I don't even know.
Okay.
I was looking to debate Tommy Robinson. You know, because you had him on your show. You said you're going to set that up.
Yeah, I was
I'll
talking with
debate
him.
anybody.
What the fuck? Let's go back. Let's see how honest this
Saying they
man
don't
is.
platform them. You can platform who you like.
All right, so I'll wait for the debate between you and Sam Shaman. When's it happening?
I don't know. I never thought a man with that kind of level was someone that should be on my radar because I don't know how many even house subscribers he's got. He's unqualified, untrained. I beat his best friend who was much more qualified and trained than him. So I don't know. You just mentioned his name to me. No one really proposed. I don't even think he called me. I don't even know.
Okay.
I was looking to debate Tommy Robinson. You know, because you had him on your show. You said you're going to set that up.
Is he a phony or am I like crazy, bro? I'm not crazy.
I was
I'll
talking with
debate
him.
anybody. Tommy Robinson.
I was talking with him a few
Ben
weeks
Shapiro
ago.
is the
He
main
said
guy.
he'll do it. He will.
But
He did
it's
say he'll
only
do it.
fair that someone, you know, like myself, should debate someone like Ben Shapiro, bro. Because how many years have I been in the game? How many millions of views have I amassed? Do you know what I'm trying to say? So why do I need to get some? Yeah, I go to the streets and talk to people like, you know, Shimon or whoever.
Love Grish donated $5. How to ask for a girl's body count.
You don't. It's either 7 or 20 if they're like 18 years old. Like, just choose. Is she a bad girl or really bad?
Whoever it may be. Do you know what I'm saying? I'm holy schmoly and these guys haven't got a problem. I've never actually turned down a debate. I'm actually in a park. I've been in a park 300 times debating anyone who wants to debate me. I go in the streets of London, bare chest.
You just turned down a debate. What you just said? I never turned down a debate. What? Go back 10 seconds, bro. This guy's a fucking weirdo, bro.
I come out and say anybody who wants to talk to me can talk to me, bro. And it's called Speaker's Corner. I come out and say anyone who wants to chat to me, anyone who wants to debate
What if they're not qualified like Sam Shaman?
me. I've been there 300 times online. There's videos of it. I've never denied a fight and I've never denied a debate. Tommy Robinson denied both. Tommy Robinson, because he's not my size, I said bring any heavyweight in the world, I'll fight him. MMA rules. So long as you fight a man that's your weight.
Yeah.
And then we have a debate afterwards.
And I will say,
so that
I spoke
it can
with
be
him.
a conversational and it can be a physical altercation. We disagree. You want to put hands on me, I want to put hands on you in a physical and legal manner. So let's put hands on each other. If it's dishonorable that a man of my size and my height, 6'7", 275 pound, yeah, someone of my size, if it's dishonorable that I'm gonna put my hand on a small guy, then I'll fight anybody. I opened it up for him. I said anybody in dunya, bro, in the world, come, and then we'll get you an opponent.
Wait, does he fight? Has he had the YouTuber boxing thing?
He wasn't interested in that. So when people propose new names for me, this
Get
Shimon
the
and this
fuck
Shmoli
outta
and this
here.
and that,
Let's
I've never said
react.
no to anybody, bro. I've never said I say yes too much, just like some of those prostitutes that you have on your show. I always say yes.
Whoa.
Well, not that's funny. We do bring a multitude of girls from different. Obviously, the OnlyFans girls are the ones that go viral. But we've had doctors on the show. We've had lawyers on the show. We've had law enforcement on the show. We've had women that are professional. We've brought
Yeah, I'm
religious
sure.
women on.
But are they prostitutes? Do you go in like to the directory and for prostitutes and just go like and call them up and say, listen, we'll give you this much money instead of
No,
doing
never.
a sexual act? Come on TV.
No, never. And that's
Is it not
another
like that?
misconception.
How'd you get these? If you don't mind me asking.
I mean, I have a team that does it. So
Bro,
they,
yo, call me crazy, but he's just sunning them, bro. This guy thinks he's. Who the fuck does this guy think he is, bro? He's just everything he says is like.
go ahead and source girls
Okay.
from different places, whether it's a college campus or out and about or whatever. That's how we've been able to get a diverse panel of women on.
But also, they're not all sex workers.
They're not all,
Some
yeah.
have degrees, some have real jobs, some are mothers.
we got a doctor on last week.
Yeah, some are.
We literally had a specialist on last week. That's a doctor that does.
They're not all sex workers.
Yeah,
Just
that
to be,
does surgery.
To be fair.
But that's a common misconception is that we only bring OnlyFans girls on, but we actually do bring a multitude of different girls.
OnlyFans.
Noodles
Okay.
donated
So are they
$5.
There have been
This
girls
guy is a
absolutely that do
cloud
OnlyFans,
chaser.
right? But we've also had a bunch of women that work professional jobs. Every panel that we have, there's a few women on the panel. Most of the time that
Josh
do some
Ran
type of
donated
professional work
$5.
or educated
Call
work. We
him
try to
out
have
and
it where
debate him,
we have,
bro.
different,
You would ruin
women
this
from
guy.
different walks of life
It
on the
would be
podcast. I think
W
it's very important to
content.
Different perspectives.
Yeah, I'd love to talk to Mohammed Hijab. If we just talk about religion, I think it could get spicy.
But a majority are non-OnlyFans. We actually got the date on it. Mo, what is it? How
It
much-
would get so funny.
We'll pull it up on the side here.
Out of 2,800, from ages from 18 to 49, 46 different U.S. states, 325 different job titles.
And OnlyFans is one of them. So
Yeah.
we brought on a bunch. But I get it. Like, you know, and that's kind of what it is with our podcast is like people look at the clips and they kind of run with the narrative a lot of times, which I'm not blaming you. I mean, obviously it's a lot of content. You're not going to go through every 2 to 3 hour podcast 2 times a day. And
is
be
a
like,
lot.
you know, it's a lot. And I understand that, you know, the time is
No,
limited.
I understand where you're coming from. I understand where you're coming from.
But
It's
there
good
was
that you
something I was
cleared
going
up.
to say.
It's good that's a very important point to clear up because I think most people just think they're prostitutes, frankly.
Yeah. I mean,
Maybe
they're
we
gonna
should do
assume that.
dawah to them. Maybe we should actually speak to the
the
prostitutes. Me and
loudest
Ali
ones
dawah.
are
We'll
the
talk
ones
about
that
doing
you
some
see
dawah to the prostitutes.
On the clips.
Yeah,
The loudest
what goes
ones
viral is the loudest,
are
craziest
those
girls.
ones, yeah.
The girls that are quiet, that
Humble,
aren't
quiet.
like that.
Don't-
don't get-
don't
No one
do
hears them talk because they don't talk. They're like
They're listening,
They're listening.
processing it.
And then after the show, they're like, "Oh, we agree with you." Like, but they don't want to say it on the show because we know, like I said, you know, women tend to be more scared of being exiled than men, right? That, like for us, like being a coward is a problem. For them, being a coward is not a big deal. It's actually when their survival makeup. So they won't speak up during the show. But unfortunately, those girls never get light. The crazy ones do.
Is he
that,
in the
you know, are
UK?
Sex
Why
workers or
didn't he go
whatever.
on the show?
We were talking about something I was going to mention before
And
this.
why doesn't Myron invite him?
What topic were we on just right before?
Oh, his story, him getting
No. Just literally just now before the.
religion.
No, damn it, man. Okay, that's fine. Should we read chats? I think we got TK in the house too.
Yeah, we do.
So we'll wrap up here in a little bit. I'll read these chats real fast. And we got what? We got 13? No, 14K y'all in here, man. Shout out to all you guys. Between Rumble and YouTube. We have okay. White Bingo's
No.
What the hell?
Oh, here's where he attacks
bro,
them.
What the fuck, man?
No, not today.
Okay, so he
No.
says the Trinity isn't a contradiction. Godhead has 3 distinct persons: Father, Son, Holy Spirit. Godhead is a being, a person, and beings are distinct, completely logical. Other clown trying to use logic to explain the nature of supernatural being SMH.
Yeah, so this distinction between person and essence, yeah, who made this distinction, and why? So, for example, is this distinction found in the Bible? You won't find this distinction is made in the Bible. This distinction is made by church fathers who tried to reconcile the idea of the Trinity. People like Augustine, for example. Augustine, who's a 4th century writer, he made these kinds of distinctions. He has a whole book called De Trinitatis, yeah, like multiple volumes, and they all recognize the problem. Yeah, they all recognize the problem with the Father being God, the Son being God, and the Holy Spirit being God. So to try and solve the contradiction, they said, yeah, but it's one essence, but 3 different persons. There's a difference between ousia and persona. That's what they said. But the first question, therefore, is this a biblical distinction? No, it's not a biblical distinction. These kind of philosophical distinctions are there. Number 2, it doesn't even solve the problem because you've got 3 unique, distinct centers of consciousness. So if the Father has a center of consciousness, the Son has a center of consciousness, the Holy Spirit has a center of consciousness, that's 3 distinct entities that we're talking about. And each of them individually are God. So the Father is God, the Father is God, the Son is God, and the Holy Spirit is God. Yet, despite me holding 3 fingers up to this camera right now, you want me to believe that this is one. I'm saying that if this is one, then I'm losing my mind. Then I'm no longer operating on that logical paradigm. Either that, or what you're saying is illogical, and I go with the latter.
Okay.
But again, like I said earlier,
How can God be logical? By definition, you need to bridge it with faith. Like, are you a fucking idiot?
because as a man, logic isn't everything, right?
Sure.
To God, because God is God. He's
Yeah,
omniscient.
that sounds like something a bimbo would say, though.
No, but
That's
it's
something like a bimbo, like an emotional bimbo, like
Yeah, because you lost the argument. You literally lost. Like, you're saying that your God is restricted to your level of finite problem solving and thinking. Like, it's
logic isn't everything. You speak to her, you give her
but
facts, and she'll just say like, logic ain't anything.
but you're putting on God restraints. You can't do that. I'm just saying that argument right there.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying this. I'm not putting on God restraints. I think that if you're saying God is limited, that would be putting God on God restraints. If you're saying God is a man, there's no
Believe 7 you
clearer
donated
way of putting restraints
$5.
on God.
I can't stop watching HDXXX. Any tips for quitting?
Bro, one in the chat if you just quit when I told you to quit because you knew it was degenerate loser activity and life got better. Like, come on, bro. How do you not have a conscience, bro? You watch that shit?
But to call him a restrained being, I mean, who is the one who's putting restraints on God? The one who's saying he's unrestrained, unrestricted, unlimited, or the one who's saying, in fact, he is a man who is God, which means he's restrained, is limited? Come on, we all know the answer to this question. So what I'm saying is, if you want to do away with logic, then you can't have a conversation with anyone about anything. You should close down Fresh and Fit and say that we have decided to close down Fresh and Fit because we have decided there's no such thing as logical truths. And so when the woman comes on, the bimbo comes on, and the talk, what's that thing called? That thing, that sex thing. OnlyFans, that sexting OnlyFans. I don't know much about this. It's not false piety. I actually don't know, but I've never been on it.
Okay.
And so the OnlyFans woman comes on, and she starts talking about her emotional arguments, which are in contradiction to logic. You can just accept her arguments because the truth is relative in that sense. Because what her truth is different to my truth is different. 2 plus 2 could be different here in the different world. It could be different there. It could be anything different. So when a transgender comes,
Oh, really? So can chat? You be Mohammed Hijab, chat. Can God make a door he cannot open? Oh, logically, I'm not allowed to. What a fucking how the fuck does he think he has a good point here? He's had better points with Peterson. I thought it's supposed to be logical, bro.
or a woke person comes, you can just say, well, the truth is relative. Anything is fine.
See, you're a very good debater, bro, but you lack a context. The problem I'm trying to raise you here is that, like, ultimately, I'm saying man to man, logic applies. But with God, it doesn't apply. So you're putting logic onto God. It's like, what are you doing?
Yeah, well, we've heard this argument before, bro. As I said to you before,
that's all.
Logic is an expression that has come from God. It's not something that is impinging on his will.
For a man, not for him.
Yeah, that's actually really good. That's really good, Fresh.
What we're saying is that
whoa.
Logic is something that God has enforced upon everyone. Do you get me?
For humankind, yes.
Yeah, that's it.
But not for himself.
So we have to operate on logic. Otherwise, there's no going forward in any discussion.
Bro, again, context.
There's no way.
You're not hearing what I'm saying. I'm saying context here doesn't apply to God. But okay, it's fine. Let's move on.
So God.
Yo, he actually didn't lose to anyone except Fresh. What the fuck? Good on you.
Can God not exist?
He's God. He can do whatever he wants to.
So atheism could be true in certain cases then, yeah?
No.
Is that what you're saying?
What I'm saying is that you're telling me that because
God can be a man, so that surely God cannot exist, can decide to take himself out of existence.
God created man, right? So I'm assuming, maybe using logic here, that if he created man, he can create a man in his image, right? For himself.
Okay, can God decide not to be a God?
Do you know?
Holy shit, Fresh is actually sharp. I was actually thinking about it. Fresh's simple answer is way better though. Fresh is sharp as shit. Yo, what the fuck?
I didn't hear that. I didn't hear your answer.
Yeah, you did.
No,
can God decide not to be a God?
No, I'm asking you.
Can God take himself out of existence?
That question in itself makes no sense.
brother, come on, man. So you're telling me that question makes no sense?
What the fuck? Why is he pretending he didn't hear Fresh?
But the question that you've been asking, which is the same thing, so God can be a man because logic doesn't apply to God, but God can't take himself out of existence.
You see what I did there?
Because that question doesn't make sense.
No, obviously,
okay, chat. Can God not exist? Go. I don't know why you guys answer. I would never answer that because you're limiting him either way. It's bad what you're doing.
Satire. But what I'm telling you is that God can do whatever he wants to do.
Bro, if he's allowed to be a man, then he should be able to take himself out of existence, which you've agreed that he can. So then, in that case, atheism could be true then.
Like I said, he can do whatever he wants to do. He's God. I can question his judgment. I can question what he does. He made us in his image, but he's God through and through. He's almighty.
Can God create a rock so heavy that he can't lift?
See, this argument, again. You're trying to put me in this corner, but...
Does Mohammed Hijab actually have an answer to that? For thousands of years, nobody could answer it, but Hijab has a concrete answer to this? What the fuck? This guy is smart as fuck, bro. He actually is confident in his answer. For the only question that ever mattered throughout history, and the fucking speaker's corner guy got it right. Bro, I want to hear his answer.
God is limitless, bro. I'm not going to question him on what
So sure, if God is limitless, he can't be a man.
So hold on, is Jesus a liar? Or is he a
Jesus never claimed to be God. Where did he claim to be God? Where did Jesus say, I am God?
So why do all the disciples talk about him being the Son of God? What, are they liars?
Pardon? Son of God.
Yeah.
Son of God is different to God, by the way.
Okay, but we're talking about, for example, God himself, right?
Say again?
Okay, so I'm just saying, everyone is pointing towards him being, right, the Son of God.
What does Son of God mean? What does it mean?
The word.
Son of God, God himself. King on earth as a man.
Son of God, God himself. So wait a minute. When in the Bible it's mentioned, when it's mentioned in Matthew's, that blessed be the peacemakers, for they shall be called the sons of God.
So
Blessed be the peacemakers. So any peacemakers are son of God. Is that a ceremonial title or is that a biological title?
So it's a term used to define Jesus, but let me just go into a little bit deeper here, because Philippians 2:6-8 says, make clear the full deity and humanity of Jesus Christ, who, though he was in a form of God, did not count equality with God a thing to be grasped, but emptied himself by taking the form of a servant, being born in the likeness of men. So he didn't come to earth as humble, being a man to us, but in likeness, he was God. So I get what you're saying.
Philippians is not Jesus himself speaking. That's a book of, by the way, Paul. Yeah,
I agree.
So that's Paul. Paul, by the way, never met Jesus. Just to let you know, he never met him. So you're giving me the works of a man who never met Jesus Christ. I'm asking you, where did Jesus himself say that stuff?
Did Paul meet Muhammad?
Pardon?
Did Paul meet Muhammad?
No, he didn't. What's that got to do with what we're talking about, though?
But again, I'm just telling you that, like, just because I never met a person doesn't mean I don't know about them from other disciples.
Say that again. He's not a disciple. Paul is not a disciple. He wasn't alive when Jesus was alive.
I'm saying all the accounts of everybody that talk about Jesus Christ when he was alive speak about him being that person.
Being what?
The Son of God.
Okay. What do you mean by the Son of God?
Are they all lying?
What do you mean by it?
Like God himself on earth.
No, okay, that's not what the Son of God means in any ordinary language or any terminological language.
What?
The Son of God means that it can either mean adoption or it can mean biological son, begotten son. So I'm asking you, what do you mean by the Son of God?
Well, in terms of this example right here, like
the Word is veiled in flesh. The Word was in the beginning with God, because the Word was God. That's what we mean. Like, get the fuck out of here, Fresh.
obviously we could be sons of God too, but the actual title for Jesus Christ is King Christ the Lord. So that'll be his full title.
He was never king on the earth, by the way. According to your narrative, according to the New Testament, he was whipped by the kings and killed by the kings.
He's coming back,
He was killed by the kings.
but he'll be back.
He was killed by the kings, according to your narrative. He was never a ruler of any polity.
He's coming back.
So why should he be called king, even by your standard?
I didn't say
He
it.
was never king. No one called him king.
It's in the Bible. I didn't say it. That's God's
No, but
decree.
no one called him king from a political perspective. He wasn't a king. He wasn't a sovereign of a nation.
Well, in their eyes, definitely not. But he is.
Sure. So what does it mean to be king? What does it mean?
I'm trying to make the argument here that you're putting.
How can he be crucified?
Sorry?
How can a king say, Eli, lama sabachthani, God, why have you forsaken
He
me?
died for our sins. He
You know,
gave up.
I understand what you're saying, but
Yeah.
how can a king, who's a sovereign, be put in a position like that? Asking,
Well, he literally says that he's not being killed. He's giving up his life. He's giving it up.
God to help him.
Well, again, I'm
So in
not
what
trying,
sense is it
I'm not
king?
trying to dictate how God moves. I'm just telling you, and especially history itself, what happened, and him saying to people, say, listen, you know what? My father put me in this position to save you guys. Is what it is. I'm not arguing that. I'm just saying, like, you're saying that God has limitations and he doesn't have any limits at all. That's what I'm saying. He lowered himself to become.
Yeah, I'm making the argument that God doesn't have any limits, and that if God were to become a man or to not exist, that would put a limitation on God. Do you get it? If God ceased to exist, that is the ultimate limitation. But there is no God then. If you've accepted that God cannot exist, then atheism can be possible in certain contexts. So what are we talking about here, bro?
So hypothetical.
You're telling me
Wait, no, if he's the Father and the Holy Spirit and Jesus, when did he not exist? What the fuck are you talking about?
A rock existing. Okay, what is right now? Which is basically he died.
Pardon?
He died for our sins. That's history.
Yeah.
Correct.
Okay, that's not history. That's your history. That's a 2,000-year-old history, which
Where's
is
his body then?
contradictory. There's even pardon.
Where's his body then?
Oh, Lord.
Where's his body?
Yeah.
Oh wait, hold on. Do you think that everybody that lived on the earth 2,000 years ago, we have their bodies and we can identify them?
No, but someone of that stature and that prominence, for example.
That's not an argument. That's called an argument from silence. That's called an argument from silence. So it's not where's his body. That's not. We both believe in an ascension. The Muslims believe in Jesus was ascended, and also in the Bible it's mentioned that Jesus was ascended. That's why we both believe he's alive now, actually. Okay. So we don't believe that he was dead. Yeah, that's the first thing. The second thing is, in terms of the crucifixion and the resurrection, we're talking about an alleged history, which is, by the way, contradicted because you have early accounts. For example, in the Talmud, which is a Jewish book, saying that Jesus wasn't crucified, but instead he was stoned. What you call the Babylonian Talmud is mentioned that he was stoned. Other early accounts of the Gnostics, they mentioned that he was substituted, in fact. So you have early accounts from different histories that say different things about what happened to him on the cross. So if it was so clear, like you say, then how come we have primary source material from different places that have contradictory information about how he died?
Okay, how does the death and resurrection of Christ not make sense to Mohammed Hijab, but marrying a 9-year-old makes perfect sense as God's divine will ordained on earth for those with eyes to see? Like, give me a break, bro. Like, what the fuck is going on here?
Or if he died, even. Can you answer that?
Well, again, I wasn't there, and you weren't
Okay,
either.
so
we're gonna go off
how
what
imagine
people
this.
said in the
Imagine
past,
if he
right?
wasn't there. So I'm saying to you, imagine this. Imagine God is going to put people in hell for a 2,000-year-old history, which has contradictions in it. So, for example, look,
100%, yeah, I
if
agree.
you did,
I agree.
Pardon?
I agree. You're right.
Yeah. So imagine this. Imagine you've got a
Okay, who agrees with Mohammed Hijab? Who in chat?
history exam, yeah, and there's only one question on the history exam. The history exam says the following. It says, "Did Jesus die for your sins? Did Jesus die on the cross? Was he resurrected?" 2 questions. Did he die on the cross? Was he resurrected? Which is the whole point of Easter, yeah? There's 2 questions on the history exam. I say no. I click on both things, and I have academic reasons. I've just cited them based on historical information, primary source information. As I said to you, Babylonian Talmud, the Gnostics, and so on. I have historical information. I say that 1 and 2. No, I don't believe he was crucified or resurrected or any of that stuff. So that means because I have this view of history as a historian or academic or otherwise, that now I must spend my entire afterlife and eternity sizzling, burning, cracking, popping in a fire. Do you think that's something that a merciful God would do? If I don't believe that Jesus died for my sins, I must be eternally damned, doomed, destroyed in a hellfire
Yes.
forever. This is not a religion, brother, that makes any sense. Already we've spoken about 3 in 1 and 1 in 3. That's number 1. And number 2, we've spoken about this idea of the crucifixion you brought.
Okay, let's do it your way. If the sin debt is not paid by Jesus Christ Almighty, then that means Allah made the world with evil in it. And there's no debt paid. So good luck, bro. That is terrifying. That makes no fucking sense. Any religion that condemns sin, but there's no way to be saved from it. You just gotta do your best. That's crazy talk, bro. You're fucked because you sin every day. Even the good guys sin.
Up. And I'm telling you on both accounts, these things don't make sense. And if you're sincere, brother, I'm saying to you, it's Ramadan for us. Let me say this to you. If we're sincere about the situation, honestly, there's only one solution, which is to believe there's only one God that is the creator of the heavens and the earth, that is not begotten, that does not beget, does not have children. He doesn't himself is not a child of anybody. Yeah, that there's nothing like him. He's the all-powerful one. He's the all-knowing one. He is the one who wills anything that he wants to will. That's the God that we should believe in. That's what's going to give you power and strength. As a man on a Fresh and Fit podcast, what's going to give you power and strength is believing that the most powerful one is your Lord, not the one who, quote unquote, humbled himself and died on a cross and humbled a weak. Because when you attach yourself to weakness, you become weak. And when you attach yourself to the ultimate...
Yeah, that weak man literally beat your religion. There's 500 million more human souls on earth for Christ than there are for your God. Your God is losing so hard, it's not even it's going to take you guys maybe 500, maybe 1,000 years to catch up. That's why you guys have 3 wives, to try and catch up. Your God's just not popular, bro.
strength, you become strength. You become strong. And that's why we have a saying in Islam, says, La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. There's no strength and power except with God, the all-powerful one, the all-strong one. So what I'm saying to you is, look into Islam properly, brother, because I think, hopefully I've planted the seed into your heart today by looking at the key doctrines of Christianity and showing you how nonsensical they are on an ordinary analysis for a lay person. It does not require a scholar. It's just easy to see.
Hold on. Clean up your fucking toys. What kind of fucking stupid wife are you? I'd beat the shit out you with a stick. Clean your fucking Fisher Price toys. Sorry guys, my 6-year-old wife, bro. She's fucking... What the fuck is this, bro? You get fucking Lego I got yous everywhere, you stupid bitch. She's tripping, bro. Come here, baby. Okay? Here's chat. Hey, guys. Let's do a family photo here. Okay. Clean up your Legos. Okay? And I'll be there after I'm done talking to the third wife. Yep, got the right religion. Ding! Can't wait to meet God. Bro, if I was a Muslim, the biggest thing I'd worry about is meeting God. Like, when you see the infinite, and the infinite goes, I sacrificed myself for you, and you're playing with Fisher-Price toys and a toddler, and snap, crackle, pop, flames come out nowhere. Yeah, how can not understanding Jesus Christ with me in fire and... Bruh, look, without Jesus, you're with a 6-year-old, buddy.
That these things don't make sense, bro. And what makes sense is that there were prophets. Abraham, Moses, Jesus. Believe that all prophets, they came for one thing and one thing only. To tell people to worship one God and to do good by their fellow man. That's why they came. To worship the God, the creator of the heavens and the earth. The universe.
Muhammad.
And then to do good by their fellow. That's what we believe as Muslims.
You know what's weird? There's no Muslims who became Muslim from reading scripture. All of them is because their parents. Have you noticed that? But you meet Christians and they always go, yeah, my parents are atheists. Yeah, I just read it and I loved it. And I'm like, whoa, what the fuck? So what made you read it? And they go, yeah, because, I'm curious about death. And there's no Muslim who will ever look you in your eyes and say, I didn't follow my parents.
Let's go, pal.
It doesn't exist.
Aliva7 he donated $5. How can you be a Catholic when they are taking steps every day to become satanic? Women deacons, same-sex blessings, putting climate change as top priority.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because I believe in reform. I believe in changing the good church. I don't believe in abandoning it, I don't believe in, I'm just going to do my own thing, bro. I don't believe in that shit, all right? And I'm like that for everything, bro. I'm like that for politics. Like, I'm not a quitter.
That's what Islam is. That's what it means.
Shit.
I appreciate the knowledge, the feedback.
Yeah.
I respect it.
Thank you very much, Fresh.
I will
Thank
say
you.
Jesus is not weak, though. He's very strong. But listen, I'm not a debater. It's one of your opinion on these things here and your actual truth, which I appreciate as well. And let's continue. Thank you, bro.
No, I appreciate that.
Appreciate that, bro.
That's just because the question that came to us was a Christianity-related question.
Yeah. This guy tells you, we Muslims, Jesus is our prophet. We have to respect him. And then he puts his finger in his ear and just talks shit about Christ. And we all just sit there and go, yep, he's respectful and he follows his Quran very well. Like, if you're following your Quran, aren't you supposed to respect your prophet Jesus? You literally go on Fres&Fit to call him weak and put your finger in your ear and like, what is this about, bro?
I get it. Thank you, bro. Appreciate that.
Okay, I'll flank through these because we got TK in the house and we're a little bit behind. Next time, I didn't realize that you guys were going to have a whole full-on debate about Christianity versus Islam.
I just have questions. I'm not debating him. I just want to see listen, he's the master debater, bro.
Fresh versus hijab is the goal we all waited for. Fresh, you gave the best defense. God gives logic, not hijab. Okay. And it looks like it's split here. Excellence. Some people agree with hijab, some people agree with Fresh. Excellence advice to hijab from a Muslim viewer. You were in Vita on FNF show, but are condescending and arrogant. It's embarrassing. They're tired of you. Muslims are respectful and non-arrogant. Respect to all people love. Excellence said that. I mean,
no, he gave his opinion on what he saw. And to be fair, bro, like if you're watching the show without watching it in full context, you don't see everything. How do you know?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, I mean, the thing is, many of your bimbo guests were going to consider you guys to be arrogant. It's just that when you make an argument with force, there's always going to be people that take offense. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And usually that's the last card resort for someone who doesn't have anything to say about something or hasn't got a logical response. They'll just say, they'll go for the meaner argument, for the disposition argument, your disposition wasn't to my liking. I'm not here to entertain anybody. If I wanted to entertain any of the guests, I'll make a freak show. I'll do some funny things. I can do that as well. But if someone doesn't like my demeanor, with all due respect, I don't care. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Who the hell? I mean, this person's probably a Pornhub addict. What's that thing they call the OnlyFans addict? Do you get what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
This guy is probably in pot noodle now because he's by himself.
Who actually believes that he doesn't forget anything during debates, but he's forgetting the term OnlyFans 10 times to look more pure? Like, this is so obvious, dude. Come on, bro. Come on. What is it called again? That thing that I don't know nothing about, Chad. It's so fucking obvious, bro. He makes it too obvious. It's like when he's offended and he laughs and puts his hand on someone to remind them that he's 300 pounds. Like, sir, let me talk to you. Let me just relax, little Christian. And it's like, bro, stop, bro. Just stop. All right, just be straight up.
and he's one of the people that has been on Tinder for all this time, can't find a date. He's coming to the champ, and he wants to ask the champ, talk to the champ, and say about arrogance and demeanor. Come on.
I
Come
will
on,
say,
bro.
Hijab, I did see your video on porn and how to think about it, and it was a very good breakdown
Yeah.
of what you should do and what it really is, what you're lacking when you do that. So that was a very good video.
Okay,
thank
it
you.
goes here, crew, and I'll just fly through these. Use logic, please. Sahel El Quran once. So once Moses went out to take. Sorry, guys, my vision. Out to take a bath and put his clothes over a stone.
I do feel bad for Fresh and Myron because, bro, chat, how would you behave if you debated Mohammed Hijab knowing his fan base is going to fucking slaughter you? Like, you say the wrong thing and you got to be like, oh, fuck, man.
And then the stone ran away with his clothes. Moses followed the stone, saying, "My clothes, O Tano, my clothes, O stone by Allah." Moses has got no. Okay. Jude goes, okay, we read that one already. Okay, here's some rumble rants. Okay, Jocasta says, Hijab throwing shots at the show with the prostitute comments is the arrogance that turns people off. Secondly, the Quran doesn't have direct quotes from Jesus either, so your gospel argument is futile. Okay. W. Jab cooked this to Kufar. Stick it, bro. W. Vasectomy L. Religion. Okay. W. Christians working in a club. That's Sneeko again. And it goes Potter Goblins.
Yeah, I know you're not talking, bro.
Okay. This nigga, bro. Okay, facts don't care about you fresh. Okay.
Sneeko saved up all of his super chat money on Rumble and donated the 10.
Is that it? Oh, the three fingers belong to one hand. Your logic is not sound. Okay, that was in response to the three fingers thing.
Okay.
Whoa,
three fingers belong to one hand, but I've got 5 fingers on the hand, actually. So they're 5 persons.
What?
Gotcha.
Go ahead.
What else do we got here? That's it? Oh.
There's more.
Law of relativity is a mathematical law. Einstein was famous for this. Okay. And then we got debating God and religion is not quite right because God simply says the wisdom of man, meaning debaters, is foolishness in the eyes of God. You can't read your own book and use it to confirm the book itself and to disprove another religious book. Okay.
Okay.
I clipped the good moments, Myron. Chris. Okay, that's from Ryan LOD. All right. And then Mr. Zapata says Jesus claims to be God. Matthew 2:23, John 8:58, Exodus 3:14, Matthew 11:12, John 14:1-7. Okay, that's what he said. Right. And then Dean for Truth. Isn't it good to dispense advice for a person who lives a different lifestyle than yours that's best for them? WFNF?
Dean for Truth.
Okay. And then say Christ is King Fresh. There is power in the name. Jesus gang. Shout out. Yeah. So it's split here. We got a lot of, obviously there's Muslim viewers, there's Christian viewers. They're going to have differing things here. And then someone else says Christ is King. Okay. Is that it? Okay.
Logic Bomb says.
Hijab debate with Jay Dyer?
Jay Dyer? Who's that?
You know, for the longest time, I've been watching the Fresh Fit. I went on it, loved them to death. I still don't know what a Don DeMarco is. Huh. Someone help me out with this. I can't just go with the jingle. I don't really... Huh.
I don't know who that is. And then Hijab throwing shots at the show. No, read that one already. WFNFW Tate. Thanks, DG Build. W Myron Fresh. Stand on business. Christ is King. Okay. And then way low. So if Jesus is God and he died for our sins, then you believe that not only God can die, in addition to that he died at the hands of his own creation. Also, the Bible says God is not a man. Okay. Sharpshooter. Bro, I tried to send y'all someone who breaks down the Bible, but it was blurred. Hijab, you are wrong. Okay. Myron, keep 100 women who are experienced care more about a man's sexual performance than his love for her. That's why men should sleep around before getting serious.
That is, I mean, in some way, that is very telling. Because
I mean, yeah, I didn't go into all the weeds of it, guys, because obviously that wasn't the purpose of today's show, but I see your perspective.
Yeah.
This is from Silent Cast. Hey, Mohammed, are certain men exempt from the rule of having a maximum of 4 wives? Also, are boxers like Devin Haney exempt from Ramadan if they have to train for a fight? Not a bad question.
Ooh. What do you think, Hijab?
No, I mean, he wouldn't be exempt if he has to train for a fight. So he should do what like a lot of these other guys do and come outside of Ramadan and fight outside, like in Khamzat and Islam Makhachev and a lot of these. Khabib, famously, none of these guys used to fight or still do fight in Ramadan. So that's just something they can do. The second question is about, what was it? What's the first one?
The other one was, can you pull it back up? Is there a rule, are certain men exempt from the rule of having a maximum of 4 wives?
No, not really. Not today.
That's the max, right?
Not today. Yeah, not today. But I mean, obviously, one can marry and divorce.
Okay, fair enough. I
And
think
then marry again and divorce again, and marry again and divorce again. But I'm not saying that that's something that, look, marriage in Islam is a very easy process, by the way.
It is.
Like if someone wants to get married, it's not like this whole like ceremony and stuff. You don't need to do any of that. Really, just to avoid zina, it's a 5-minute process, really.
Yeah.
Like I'm only saying this because obviously, Myron, we want you keep you safeguarded and chaste as well. Which is the fact that, for example, if you have a Muslim or Christian or Jew, because Muslim men are allowed to marry Christian women or Jewish women. Muslim women are not allowed to marry Christian men or Jewish men, only Muslim men. But Muslim men are allowed to marry Christian and Jewish women. So say, for example, you met a Christian woman or a Jewish woman, yeah, or a Muslim woman, and you want to marry her, all you would do is you'd get two witnesses, and two witnesses of two male witnesses, yeah, who are Muslim, that they would effectively they would witness what you're saying. Consent is given on both sides. You'd give her a dowry. The whole process will take 5 minutes, and if her father gives permission, according to 3 schools of thought, he's required. If not, then according to 1 school of thought, he's not even required. So really and truly, it's a 5-minute process, and you don't need to fall into what would be considered to be a major sin in the religion of Islam, which is to commit zina, which is extramarital or premarital fornication or whatever it is, when marriage is made so easy. And they say you don't want to be with the woman anymore, you don't want to be with her anymore, then you discuss and then you can divorce. It's not like Catholicism, it's not like Catholic religion, where you're trapped into the marriage and so on, and that, it's death to us part. No, if you don't want to be with her, you don't have to be with her. So yeah, you can marry up to 4 wives, you can have 4 wives at one time, and if you don't want the wife, then you can divorce her and you can get a new one. That's what you can do.
Okay. What else do we got here? That's it? Cool.
That kind of sounds like dating, huh?
No, this is great. I definitely, I had a bunch of questions here, Mohammed, that we didn't get to because we talked about the other stuff. But we'll definitely bring you back, and I want to ask more questions about the religion itself, so that people can get a better understanding of Islam. Because obviously, there's a lot of negative stereotypes that I wanted you to kind of debunk, but we didn't have time today, unfortunately.
Where can I find you?
Believe a 7 he donated $5.
You could just put
Would
my
you
name,
talk
Mohammed
to
Hijab,
Jay
on
Dyer?
YouTube. As you mentioned, it's quite a big channel. It's quite easy
Yeah,
to
I
find.
would.
And you'll see, if you want to see more debates, I've done lots of debates with Christians, lots of debates with atheists. That's something that me and Fresh and everyone else would agree with. And we've done a lot of gender debates. Like, I've done lots of debates against feminists as well. Like,
You know what,
Before Fresh and Fit and Red Pill, by the way, I had a ton of things about feminists. I was, really ravaged, if you like, by the community and by outside the community, because I used to be talking directly about feminism and stuff like that. So there's also stuff, if you wanted to have arguments against feminism, I've done lots and lots of work on that as well.
No, that's awesome, man. I'd like to bring you back to talk about Islam, the religion, and kind of educate the people. And then also, I think I have someone in mind that would be a great person that you could talk to. He's an Orthodox Christian, Andrew Wilson. I think that'd be a great conversation between the two of them, and we could set it up.
Yo, real quick, you know what you should do, bro? Since these prostitutes are on the show, why don't you do virtual after hours?
Have virtual after hours?
So
have him on the pod?
Tell these
Girls?
04s.
Christy Skeen donated $5. Do you think one should get an Adderall script to improve productivity if they genuinely think their productivity/quality of life is hurt from ADHD symptoms?
No, you should master your mind before you do anything pharmaceutical. Like, chances are, have you tried? No, you haven't.
It's what do you need to hear from over there? They can sit right here. Tell them
That'd be
what's up.
funny.
That'd be funny, bro.
That'd be funny, actually.
What do you think?
Yeah, whatever you want. I don't have any problem. I'll speak to anyone you want me to speak to, brother.
All right, yeah, we'll set something up like that in the future, man. I think it'll be great.
Oh,
But I definitely want to have you back on again after, maybe after Ramadan, 'cause I know it's a holy month, and fasting is not easy.
I might do 4
but yeah, we
wives.
could definitely do it. But guys,
Think
check him
about
out.
it.
His YouTube is huge. I think one of the biggest Islamic channels on YouTube. Go check him out. And bro, it was great to have you.
And just real quick, I think as
Well, pleasure's all
Christians,
mine, bro, honestly.
Christians and Muslims, like, we do believe in God, and I do believe as well that, like, we can disagree, agree to disagree,
yeah.
but at the same time, like, we shouldn't hate each other. You know what I'm saying?
No, of course not.
So
Of course not. Yeah.
Cool, guys. Go
So
check him out.
look, we're all one community, we're all one family. If you guys need anything from me as well, then I'm here.
Awesome.
appreciate it, bro.
All right, guys. You guys take it easy. We'll catch you guys. We're gonna be back with TK Kirkland here
Right
in the
now.
next 5 or 10 minutes, man. So